Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. We are back once again for another Champions League watch-along. And as always, if you are new to the stream, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription as we push towards 2,000 subscribers on the channel. But we're back once again. Two massive games tonight. We know already 6 teams through to the next round. We've got our final 2 teams to decide who's going to go through, and 2 very big games indeed. One of them on the left-hand side is looking like a game that's nearly done and dusted. But one game on the right-hand side looks like there could be a lot to happen tonight, but we'll have to find out indeed. But joining me for tonight's action, of course, he watched Bayern Munich last time. It was a trounce against Lazio. It looks like it could be another trounce tonight for them. It's KD. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm all good. How are you, mate?
Very, very good indeed. Looking forward to tonight's action. But the real question is, are you looking forward to your game?
Yeah, I think it should be quite a straightforward result and game for Bayern Munich tonight.
Yeah, it should be. You know, you look at the lineups, which we'll go through in a second. He's looking kind of like Lazio, maybe a little bit resting some players up, knowing that it's always going to be impossible to go through to the next round. But we've also got the other game going on as well today. Chelsea taking on Atletico Madrid, which is the game that I'm going to be watching. So let's hope, because last night we had a game that was 1-0. It wasn't as exciting as we expected it to be, and we're hoping tonight is a very different story indeed. But without further ado, should we go through the squads?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's start off with the Bayern-Lazio game, of course, the game that you're going to be watching tonight. 4-2-3-1 for Bayern Munich. Nubel is in goal. No Neuer today. Back 4 of Lucas Hernandez, David Alaba, Jerome Boateng and Benjamin Pavard. Defensive midfield 2 of Leon Goretzka and Joshua Kimmich, with Muller as the cam. And then up top is Sane, Gnabry and Lewandowski in that front 3. With the likes of Saul, Davies, Marco Roca, and even Maxim Choupo-Moting on the bench. But, you know, looking at the Bayern team tonight, resting a few players even there, do you think, Kieran?
Yeah, I think probably one of the strongest lineups they could go for, maybe. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know why Neuer's not on the bench tonight. I think it might be a case of his pitch slight injury, or it's just a case of resting him altogether. But it looks like a really, really strong side on paper. Sane, Lewandowski, Gnabry going to be tough to stop tonight. Especially after pretty much, I think they all scored the 4 goals in the last game as well. As for Lazio, 3-5-2 for the Italian side tonight. Pepe Reina is in goal, back 3 of Stefan Radu, Francesco Acerbi, and Adam Maricic, who's acting as a centre-back tonight, which is a very interesting choice indeed. Midfield 5, we've got Mohamed Fares on the left, Manuel Azari on the right, with the midfield 3 of Luis Alberto, Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, and Gonzalo Escalante. And up top, quite interestingly, you'll know Ciro Immobile is on the bench from what you can see. Vedat Mariki and Joaquin Correa up top. Interesting to see tonight, Kieran. Immobile is on the bench. Why do you think they put him on the bench tonight rather than starting him?
Yeah, I think it's more of resting him than dropping him, to be fair. Because, I mean, it's going to be very tough for Lazio to win this game. Even win the game, not even win the tie overall, just to win the actual 90 minutes will be very tough. Fair play if they do it without Immobile, but it's going to be a massive ask for him. I think they're probably just resting him for the Udinese game on the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, lots of action still going on in Italy over the next few weeks based on league positions and stuff like that. I know Lazio are fighting for the Europa League spots, but let's quickly move on to the other game as kickoff is going to get underway very, very shortly. Chelsea tonight with a 1-0 aggregate lead over Atletico Madrid. Edouard Mendy is in goal tonight. He's behind even. Back 4 of Antonio Rudiger, Kurt Zouma and Azpilicueta. It's not even back 4, it's back 3. Midfield 4 is Marcos Alonso as the left mid. Reece James is the right mid, which, as you know, we're playing this kind of overlapping wing backs with N'Golo Kante and Kovacic in the middle. Kai Havertz, Ziyech, left wing, left forward, right forward, however you see them, with Timo Werner in the middle as the striker. You can see on the bench tonight a few noticeable players. Giroud, who scored the bicycle kick last week, get in. Hudson-Odoi as well, he's on the bench. Jorginho tonight is suspended, which is why Kovacic comes into the midfield. As for Atletico Madrid, probably one of the more conventional sides in world football, playing a 4-4-2 tonight. Jan Oblak is in goal, back 4 of Renan Lodi, Stefan Savic, Jose Jimenez, and Kieran Trippier is back for the first time in the Champions League since his 3-month suspension for betting. Midfield 4, Yannick Carrasco on the left, Marcos Llorente on the right, with Saul and Koke in the middle. So I think going to be interesting to see how those 4 do tonight, especially Marcos Llorente, has played in God knows how many positions this season. And then up top, João Felix and Luis Suarez, who still hasn't scored in the Champions League for what feels like ages. I can't remember how long the record's gone on for, but it's definitely been on well and truly into his Barcelona days. On the bench, stacked bench tonight for Atletico Madrid. It does include the likes of Correa, Dembele, Vitolo. So they've got a lot of attackers they could bring on, but it's more of a case of if they're going to be able to bring a few goals tonight. Because remember, Atletico Madrid need 1 goal minimum to try and get themselves back into this game. As for Lazio, I'm pretty sure tonight they need 4, I think, if I'm correct.
Yeah, 4 away goals.
Yeah, 4 away goals, which is going to be quite a tricky situation for them. As you said, I think it's more of a case of resting players up tonight. But let's have a look and see what you guys have been saying in the chat before we start with the games. Infinity Football, he's back in the stream. He's put, hello, Josh and Kieren. How are you doing, Infinity Football? I hope your exam went well yesterday, or technically it'd be this morning for you. Carl's put in the chat, hey, Josh and Kieren, how are you doing? How are you, Kieren?
I'm all right, mate. I'm sound. I'm looking forward to this game, to be fair.
Yeah, it should be 2 very interesting games tonight, and I'm not doing bad myself. A little bit more sub tonight, as Dad's in the village. But even in Josh and Kieren, how are you both tonight? We're all good as always. Cal did put, see Chelsea going through because Atletico was so crap in the reverse fixture, but they could prove me wrong. I mean, the last time we saw Atletico Madrid away from home in the knockout stages, I'm not going to say anything, but I think there'll be a few people who will remember the last time they knocked Liverpool out. As Daz has put his predictions in the chat tonight. He's gone Bayern Munich 3-0, Chelsea 2-0. What's your prediction for tonight's game?
Well, we just had the first chance of the game. It was Lewandowski just nodding it back across the face of goal, and it was an open net. If anybody was there to put it in, but unfortunately for Bayern Munich, nobody was there. In terms of predictions, are we doing both games, or am I just doing the prediction for my game?
Tell you what, let's go both games. Why not?
Right, I'm going to go for Lazio to win in 90 minutes. I'm going to say 2-1 to Lazio in 90 minutes. And 2-0 to Atletico Madrid.
Interesting shout. I'm going to stick with, I think, what I was going for before. I think, I came into this match, or going into this match, and I was expecting it to be a 2-1 win for Atletico. I mean, we've started in this first kind of minute or two really attacking football from both sides, but it should be an interesting game. I think we've seen Atletico Madrid in the past, they know how to defend, but they've got to attack tonight, and it's something we don't tend to see from them often, but I'm going to stick with 2-1 Atletico Madrid. Your game, though, I don't know why, but 5-2 screaming out in my head. I don't know whether it's going to be as resounding, but I know I said to you before we weren't live tonight, I've got a feeling Bayern Munich, as you would expect them to, are going to go out there and they want to get a mauling on the board, I think. They want to put a marker down and say to the rest of the teams in the Championship, look, we're here to win it again. That's my opinion.
Yeah, they're probably the favourites as well at the moment after that dominant first display in the first leg. They look unstoppable in the Champions League, of course. Little blips in the league here and there, but in the Champions League, they're a different animal.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a chance here for Atletico Madrid to come forward. It was a 1-2 with João Felix and Suarez, which the Uruguayan just puts a little bit of a heavy pass into Felix. But it's a good start from Atletico Madrid. And this is why I'm really looking forward to this game tonight because, as I said, of course, Atletico Madrid, known for defending. They can't do that tonight. So I'm interested to see how Simeone sets up his side to go into this game because they're not exactly going to go gung-ho. But you always expect a team like Atletico Madrid to be very well organised. They're going to come forward here. There's an incredible effort. I think it was from Renan Lodi. Yeah, it was. It just took on it was like a first-time chip shot. I don't really know how to describe it, if I'm honest with you, Kieren, but it's a back heel from Suarez. Takes it on first time from outside the box, and he tries to just dip it over the head of Mendy. But really good start here.
Was it Giroud-esque?
No, I can't say it's Giroud-esque as such, but I think Giroud will definitely be in the history books for that bicycle kick. But it was a good chance at the very least for Atletico Madrid. I
think for both of our games, the first goal in both games is crucial because if Bayern Munich get it in my game, there's no chance of the comeback for Lazio. I know they'd still need the same amount of goals, but I think that would probably just kill the last remaining life that's in Lazio at the moment. And in your game, even if Chelsea were to get the first goal, it's not necessarily over. But if Atletico Madrid were to get the first goal, then we've got a tied match in your game as well.
Yeah, and I think kind of a point that's definitely worth looking at is what happened yesterday in the Madrid-Atalanta game. It is going to be very, very important, and I know a team like Atletico Madrid will definitely be switched on tonight. But they don't want to do what Atalanta did. If they do get a goal in the game, the last thing they're going to want to do is instantly concede. And look, this is one of the best defensive sides in world football. I don't expect them to do that. But it's so hard right now to describe this Chelsea team because they're not the most prolific side right now when it comes to goals. but they're bloody good at defending. And in a game like this tonight, they're going to have to be switched on for the full 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's a really weird. I'd say weird. I think they're in brilliant form, and I mean the fact that Thomas Tuchel's come in and seemed to make Antonio Rudiger and even Christensen look like absolutely world-class centre-halves is amazing. But fair play to him, he has done that. But like you said, at the top end of the pitch, they're lacking. They've had a few 0-0 draws here and there. Of course, the one with Wolves and the one at the weekend sticks out against Leeds, where they probably should have lost, to be fair. Leeds very unlucky. Like you said, a little bit unprolific in front of goal, if that's even a word. But
I think that's right.
Yeah, they've got the likes of Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, who aren't really firing this season as of yet. But if they can get them firing, then I think Chelsea will be a massive force to be reckoned with. Yeah,
I agree with you. I think unprolific's a word, but I'd say just right now it has been a case of, up top. I'm a big Giroud fan, but I still have to say they have at points Giroud has been probably the better striker this season, just because he's been putting the ball into the back of the net. But look, as this team grows in confidence, let's not forget we're very early into Tuchel's kind of career as a Chelsea manager. He's going to be looking to build on this side. Morale will improve, and hopefully, I think, especially in the last few weeks, we've seen players like Kai Havertz now start to improve a little bit. So maybe next season, depending on what happens, maybe even this season, I think the last time Chelsea brought in a manager mid-season in the Champions League, they actually went on and won it. So maybe it might be a case of deja vu again.
Do you know what, though? Chelsea are the only team in the top six that seem to change their manager the most, I think. There just seems to be a lack of patience. I know there was a lot of Chelsea fans who wanted Frank Lampard, and I think rightly he was sacked too soon because I just don't think he got the time.
Yeah, it was the debate we had before. I think I originally, when the news was coming out and stuff, I kind of said I thought they'd keep him till the end of the season and maybe sack him afterwards. But it was just one of those where Chelsea are the type of club where they don't care about other people's opinions. They care about the results, and that's it. And ultimately, Lampard probably knew he was on the firing line with the way that things were going, and maybe expected a little bit that he might get sacked. But they're a ruthless club, but it's working right now, and I think it's worked in the past as well. So as much as a lot of fans out there have been saying, "Well, why did Lampard get sacked?" It's worked time and time again for him.
I know, but I just fear for Tuchel a little bit if he has a bad start to next season. I just fear for him a little bit because he's such a good manager. He got sacked at PSG for not winning the Champions League, which is a little bit unfair, I think. Even though PSG have got superstars, they've not got superstars.
There's a chance here for Kante. Sorry to jump in. Still going here. And he's got to play for a goal kick, so we're all good.
Oh, had a ball lifted into the box. But, I mean, it's been quite a slow start in this game. Like I was saying, I just fear for Tuchel a little bit because, like you said, Chelsea are ruthless with managers and stuff. They don't care about behind the scenes, just care about on the pitch. But I'm just going to stop because Lazio put a ball into the box. Good header away by Alaba. And it's going to come back out to Luis Alberto, who looked at him, one up, finds Mariki. It's on to the right-hand side for Lazari. Squared up. Whips one in with his left foot, goes all the way through, but it's a good clearance in the end. But yeah, Lazio piling the pressure on at the moment. I mean, Bayern Munich just coasting through the game, 4-1 up. No real threat or anything.
No, definitely not. And I'm going to kind of get a comment up. I think Infinity Football's put in the chat in a second. But Chris is in the building. Hi, lads. Hope you're well. How are you doing, Chris? Hope you're all good as always, buddy. He's put, I wouldn't rule Atletico Madrid out of this game. And then, of course, we were talking about Havertz earlier before. He put Shai Havertz actually shown up in games since Tuchel took over, which, I definitely have to agree with you. It's good to see him starting to build on his confidence, considering how shy he was at the start. Daz put in the chat, had a big winner today, 9-2, 25p each way. Do tell me in the chat, if you have been on Cheltenham today, how's it been going for you? Because it's been quite a splendid day on the betting in terms of Cheltenham, if you've been doing the horse racing. But the point I was going to bring up, Infinity Football put in the chat, I think they could have given Immobile the rest in that Udinese game. I think Immobile would have given Lazio some hope today, even if it's very tough today to get 4 away goals. And I was originally going to ask you the question, Infinity Football, because I know you were in the chat yesterday. There's no point asking it. My original question was going to be, do you think it's more likely for Lazio to come back than Gladbach? But let's be honest right now. I mean, Lazio, as you said earlier, didn't you, KD? If they can get a goal early on, it will make things a little bit interesting.
Yeah, and they've been the better side, I've got to say, so far in the opening 11 minutes. They've been by far the better side. They're just not getting the shots on goal, to be honest. I mean, Nubel, of course, he's not as good as Neuer is. Test him a little bit. He's not played in a while.
Yeah,
get shots in at him, make him spill a couple, put him under a little bit of pressure at least. But as of yet, Bayern Munich not really looking like the Bayern Munich that we're normally used to seeing. But like you said, yeah, it's going to be a massive task for Lazio to come back in this game.
Yeah, I didn't really get to watch much of the first leg, but when I did watch glimpses of it, and I think it was a little bit more the first half than the second half.
What a chance that was. Leroy Sané on his left foot, cutting inside, hit it across the goalkeeper, it just bended wide. What a chance, but the first real chance of the game for Bayern Munich that time.
I'm glad you jumped in there because I was literally just about to say, I thought Lazio played all right in that first half. It was just a case of, I think, the defensive line at that point really struggled. When Masaccio gave away, I think it was the penalty and then was subbed off. It was a complete mess at the back, but they had multiple chances. I think Luis Alberto had an opportunity or two at the very least. They could have had, I think I was saying yesterday, I thought they could have had 3 or 4 in that first half, just as much as Bayern could have had probably 6 or 7.
Yeah, it was a very, very entertaining game, to be fair. I know me and Will did the watch-along for that with the reverse fixtures, of course. It was a very entertaining game. I mean, like you said, Lazio had a few opportunities, but ultimately they were the architects of their own downfall with the defensive mistakes and stuff. Especially Masaccio. He was absolutely awful for someone so experienced and stuff. But it was weird because, like you said, yeah, they kind of played a lot better than Bayern Munich did in the first half. But Bayern Munich just took advantage of the opportunities given to them. You can't give Bayern Munich those type of opportunities. No,
definitely not. And I always feel like as well with Bayern is, whenever clubs tend to play three at the back formations, it's when they're at the best because they've got the 5 players up top who can just wreak havoc. And, Lazio, as you said, terribly awful in defence last week. And they've got to make sure that today, even the fact that they're 4-1 down, they've got to keep defensively aware, defensively structured, because tonight, as I said, Bayern will be out there to score a few more goals. They might want to see this game end 7-8, 9-1 on aggregate if they possibly could. And for Lazio, it's a case of just maybe trying to see if they can get the first goal of the night and really put Nubel under pressure, as you said.
Yeah, put the Bayern backline under pressure, of course. We've been seeing them conceding goals left, right and centre in the last couple of weeks. I know the 3-3 with Armenia. The defeat, of course, to Gladbach. I know it was a couple of months ago, but it was a time when Bayern Munich were really exposed defensively. Something like that. Any balls in behind them, they seem to struggle with. But, I mean, since they've put Alaba at centre-half, they look a lot better. But there's a header and it's a good save by Nubel. I think he was offside, Milinkovic-Savic, but he ghosted around that back line very well. Good ball in, I think it was by Fares. And just straight at Nubel. We'll see if he is onside as well. That's a big chance missed for Lazio.
Massive chance indeed. Look, we're only about less than 15 minutes into these games. Get that first goal of the night. Give yourself a bit of confidence. And because Neuer's not in goal tonight, he's not going to make as many stellar saves. Well, I'm saying that. He might do. But he won't make as many good saves as what Neuer would because of the experience that the Germans got. But just look at the chat. Reese has put, yo. How are we doing, Reese, as always? Hope you're all good, buddy. And then Winvar's in the building too. He's put Atletico Madrid will get 2 goals tonight, which if they do, then they'll be going through. So we'll have to find out what goes on there. But he did ask a question in the chat. And I think it's a very interesting question to answer. Who is the best young player that isn't from Barca right now? Because there's 2 obvious players in mind here, isn't there? When you look at it.
Who are you thinking of?
Mbappe and Haaland.
Do you think he meant young players or like players that are under 20, like Isaka, Greenwood, those type of players? Because I'm gonna say Musiala.
You go Musiala. Tell us in the chat, Winvow, in terms of like under 20s and 21s, and then of course we'll talk a little bit more. But this. I feel like we're in a very, very good era of young players coming through, not just across England but across European football. I mean, Rees has put Makoko from Dortmund as another player. Yeah,
there's football's in good hands for the future, honestly.
100%.
There's so many good players coming through. It seems like the players coming through now have the ceiling to be better than the players that are currently playing, like when they were in their sort of like coming through period, stuff like that. Football's in good hands. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, 100%. The Euro 21 Euros, we've been talking about that with the squads coming out over the last few weeks. You look at some of the teams that I think, do you've seen them 10 years ago maybe, some of the squads that they got? There's the odd player here and there, you'd be like, he's one for the future. But now, I think, take the France squad, for example, 90% of the players now and some of them aren't even at the highest enough level to probably be appreciated as such as world class. But it's scary right now, the amount of youngsters that are up and coming.
Yeah, and I mean the England squad, of course, got revealed, and we've got so many good players in that squad. So many young under-21 players. I mean, the likes of Max Aaron's in there, who was wanted by Bayern Munich. Those sort of players are young players for the future are going to be something else. I mean, not even the English players. Well, I know Germany's, Netherlands looks incredible as well. Like you said, France looks absolutely insane. I'm sure there's other nations out there with, like USA as well. I've got some really good up and coming youngsters coming through. But I mean, yeah, football is in such safe hands for the future.
100%. I think we're probably going to see another golden age of football. I think, teams like maybe teams like Real Madrid and such having really, really good squads, because we had that period like 2010 where it was the Barcelona side. You had the early noughties when it was Real Madrid. I think another one of those two teams will have that period again, where it's just a full team of superstars. Because look, the Bayern Munich team right now is probably the best team in Europe. Maybe Man City, if you're a Premier League fan or a neutral and you think Manchester City is better. But I still don't think we've got that golden era of how we had the Real Madrid sides of the past and the Milans as well, where you'd look at it and you'd be like Seedorf, Ronaldinho, Kaká. I think we'll have another team like that in the near future.
Oh, you can sit there and hope, because I mean, when I watched the Man United Milan game last week, they did a little package before the game and showed both the lineups from, I think it was the 04-05 season, and there was Kaká, Maldini, Nesta, Seedorf, Ronaldinho, and you're thinking, wow, to get all those names in one team is incredible, because they were all world-class players. Like, if any players can even replicate close to that,
yeah,
it's incredible.
Like most of the players in those teams were regarded as the best players in their position. That's how scary the old like Milan teams were in the past. It's crazy, and I think we will see another era like that again, where there is one club out there, maybe Real Madrid, maybe Barca, maybe it's a different side that just has a team of incredible players that the best in the world in their position in one side. But Winvow did message back. He did say, what I mean is players that are Haaland level. So in terms of world-class stars,
I'd probably say Haaland at the moment. Probably Erling Haaland. I mean, I'd say Mbappe is a little bit above Haaland at the moment in terms of level, but I think Haaland probably the best.
It's a tough one, because I'm watching a play now. João Felix, who's going through on goal. He was the name I was going to say, but the problem with João Felix is he's had quite a few injuries since he's come to Atletico, and we just haven't seen. We've seen little bits of form where you think this is the player that Atletico paid 70, 80 million for. But I'd love to see him go on a mad run of form where for a month, 2 months, 3 months, he plays at the very highest level.
Yeah,
it's just a shame.
Sorry, I thought you were going to continue talking. That's why I didn't say.
No, it's all right.
I really rate João Felix. I think he will be one of the best players in the world. I just think that the Atletico Madrid side at the moment, now it's probably just the way that Simeone plays. I just think they need to evolve a little bit from the way they're playing, because if João Felix was in a good side that dominated the ball and counter-attack very quickly, I think he would get probably 20 to 30 goals a season. But I mean, he's a brilliant player. Like, there's no doubt about it.
100%. I think, as you said, eventually when Simeone leaves, which I think will be the next few years, maybe next year or two, it all depends. I thought he was going to leave at the end of this last season, because it kind of felt like it was going to be a real rebuild project. But, he stayed, and he's kind of developing a new era as well. But when Atletico Madrid do attack, he's a bloody good player to watch. Very skillful, very talented, quick, good finisher on the ball. I just don't think we see enough of that right now. But as you said, give it another 3-4 years, and he'll definitely be up there with the best. I mean, a few of you guys have been putting other names in the chat as well. Tubbs, how you doing, buddy? Oh, you're good. My Filipino referee's put. People tend to forget Florian Wirtz as well. And he's put, hello, lads.
Florian Wirtz is looking good, to be fair. I know he's really young. He's only like 17 or something, isn't he?
Yeah, and the way that he's been able to come up from the fact that Havertz left the team, he's under a hell of a lot of pressure to go out there and perform. And of course, Leverkusen maybe not as such performing right now, going through a bit of a blip themselves, but he's another one to watch out. I think he's the next big player for Leverkusen. As Reese has put, Haaland's going to be the highest goal scorer, I think, but Mbappe is the more marketable player.
I could see that. The Haaland is, I think someone said he's about natural born goal scorer. I just think the thing is Mbappe, he's just got it all.
Yeah.
I rarely ever see Mbappe have a bad game, whereas Haaland is a few times he gets a little bit isolated out of the games. Like the game, I know he scored 2 goals against Dortmund against Bayern, but apart from that, he wasn't really involved in the game as much. And I think if you isolate Haaland, you isolate Dortmund. So, one time I'm just going to stop because Milinkovic-Savic just at the back post pulls it back into the box. A man goes down. That is an awful pass. It was such a good position for Lazio to potentially get a shot on goal, but poor decision making in the end there. But
do you know what? I'm looking at this first 20 minutes of this game, and Atletico Madrid just having a bit of a spell in this match where they're not really, they're not having much possession of the ball. Chelsea looking the better side right now. You've got a feeling here, Chelsea, as much as they've not done a great deal so far, are desperate to get that second goal to really put Atletico Madrid under a lot of pressure because, as you alluded to earlier, Kieran, even if they do score a second, Atletico Madrid could get back into this match. But it will give them so much more breathing space in this game. And I think they need that goal soon because eventually Simeone is going to have to say to his side, look, we can't sit back and defend. We've got to go for it. And maybe he brings on another player later on, like a Moussa Dembele, depending on the situation of what the scoreline is at half-time. But I think he'll be happy with his team right now. They've not conceded, but at the same time, there's got to be a little bit more of a sense of urgency.
Yeah, I think with the urgency, there needs to come caution as well, like you said. Don't concede because then they put themselves on the back foot, of course, and have to chase the game. But like you said, I think right now he probably knows what he's doing in terms of how to manage the game.
Yeah, 100%. Completely agree with you. He's probably one of the best tacticians in world football for knowing how to manage a game. I mean, time and time again, you'll always look at Atletico Madrid results, and they've usually won 1-0 just because of how defensively structured they are. They're quite happy to go and get a goal in the game and then sit back and defend. That's just the way they are. That's why I think a lot of people call them the Spanish Burnley, because they are to a certain effect. As Suarez has gone down, he's calling for a penalty, which the referee's waved away. I'm guessing VAR will just check that just in case. But I don't think it'll be given as a penalty in the end. But where do you see Simeone going in the future? They've just stopped play actually here for a second, and this is going to be checked by VAR. Now, this is a big, big moment in the match, this, and we're just seeing the replay now. It's Rudiger on Suarez. He pushes him over, and to be honest, I think from this position, if it's to be given, I actually think it would have been given as a free kick, but play's continued, and it's not going to be a penalty anyway.
With Simeone, it's a very difficult one because he's been at Atletico Madrid for so long. It'd be weird to see him at a different team, but honestly, I'm not sure.
I feel like we're at a point now with Simeone where, we were speaking about him a year ago, and I think the clubs he was always been linked to, of course, one of them was United. I think probably linked to them the most. Linked a lot with Arsenal as well before they got Arteta in. I look now, and I don't actually see, for me, a club that suits him, if you get what I mean, or a club out there that needs a manager where, he'd come in and do a job.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. That's what I mean. I think that's what I think. I think his style of play. There's going to be a yellow card, I think, for Radu, by the way. His style of play is very, very unique. I know comparing it to Burnley and stuff, but it's very unique. It's different to Burnley by a long way. But his style of play is very unique. It'd be weird to see him managing another team like that, of course, because I'm so used to seeing Atletico Madrid with Simeone. I'd think it weird. It won't be right in my mind.
No, but you kind of look at him and you think he's kind of like a one-club manager. And look, at the end of the day, I think even in his head, he'll be thinking at some point, I don't know whether he will or not, but he might be thinking, I want to go elsewhere in the future, try myself out in a different league. And it'd be interested to see him in the Premier League with these types of tactics. I mean, Burnley versus whatever club he'd be in charge of would be quite an enthralling watch to see defensively how both teams would play off against each other. But I mean, he's in the best place right now. They're going through a rebuild themselves. Brought in a few players last season for a lot of money. João Felix, Lodi, just to name a couple. So they're going through that kind of new era of players like Godin and other players like that. I'm trying to think of other players off the top of my head. There was a midfielder, Gabby. That was the one I was trying to think of. Those types of players that are remembered as the heroes of Atletico Madrid over the last couple of years. And why would you want to leave right now? On for a title chase, looking like they might be on course to win the title, and probably one of the favourites up there to go far in the Champions League if they were to go through.
They're always one of those teams that we saw last year. Of course, they got beaten by RB Leipzig, but they beat the former champions Liverpool, and they're always one of those teams that nobody wants to come up against just because of how difficult they are to play, because they know exactly what they need to do at every single point. They're so well drilled. And I mean, I know Chelsea beat them 1-0, and it was a very even display. And Atletico Madrid, of course, they weren't at their best. But I would expect them today to be head screwed on, know what they need to do. Of course, they're just plodding their way through this game, it sounds like, from what you've been saying so far. And it can't be long until they flip the switch and they score.
No, just saying that, Carrasco is calling for a penalty here. He says he's been fouled by Azpilicueta, who has pulled him back in this situation. It's a really nice pass from Suarez into the Belgian, and there's a slight push in there. I mean, Kyle was saying for the Rudiger one earlier, he thought it was a foul, in my opinion, and he was pushing him. Whether it would be a penalty or free kick is another question, but I don't know whether this is going to be checked by VAR, which I think it has, because the referee has blown his whistle, but it won't be a penalty. So 2 chances in the game for Atletico Madrid to maybe have a penalty, but they will have a corner, which Kieran Trippier is going to whip in here. And as I said, been out with a ban over the last few months because of gambling. And he puts a pretty decent ball in, but in the end, it's cleared away by, of all people, Timo Werner. But it's come back again. Trippier's going to whip him another ball in towards the near post. Comes towards Suarez, who's gone down. No calls for a penalty this time, and it will go to play for a goal kick. But they're plodding along.
Yeah. Do you know what I can't wait for, Josh? When the England squad gets announced and I see Kieran Trippier's name in there, the man who hasn't played for 3 months, I can't wait to see his name in there over the people that actually should deserve a spot in the squad.
I mean, this season, he has been, in the games he played, he has been good. But I completely agree. I think, with 3 months out, there will be other players out there who do deserve call-ups. I think Wan-Bissaka has to be up there for a call-up now. I think Trent will just get called up because it's Trent. And then, I think Trippier could get called up because Kyle Walker hasn't played as much recently. I think Matty Cash should be up there for a call-up. Maybe not for the Euros. Injured,
I think Matty Cash is injured. I think he should be Reece James who gets called up.
Of course. This is the thing. We've got too many good right-backs.
Yeah, we have. But he loves making one of them a centre-half, so just play one of them at centre-half.
Who do you think is the more likely player to be a centre-back out of the right-back?
I think Wan-Bissaka's got the quality to be a centre-half out of every right-back. He's the best defensive right-back we've got. But he'll probably make bloody Ainsley Maitland-Niles a centre-half or something.
He probably would, to be fair. He probably would. You're not wrong.
Do you know how we've got San Marino? Odds on him playing a 5-back with Declan Rice and Harry Winks sitting in front of him.
He will, because that's just typical Gareth Southgate. But Infinity Football's put in the chat, I hope to see the Indian national football team in the World Cup sooner or later because of the way the Indian Super League is progressing, which it is developing year by year. As Dimsky's put a chat, how you doing, Dimsky? Are you all good, buddy? Don't bet on Trippier tonight. As apparently Daz has put, he announces the squad tomorrow for the World Cup qualifiers. So we'll roughly have an idea of who's going to play San Marino in a few days' time.
I'm not quite sure what's happened here. I've missed something. Hang on. The corner's been whipped in and someone's just hurdled someone over in the area. I'm not really sure what's happened. Someone's got a yellow card. I'm honestly not even sure what's happened here. Someone goes down and the ball into the back. I don't know what are they showing me.
Is it for Bayern or for Lazio in terms of the yellow card?
I don't know what. Has the ref give a penalty? I think he's given it's to Bayern Munich, but I think he's given a penalty to Bayern Munich for a push on Goretzka. Yeah, it is. It's a penalty to Bayern Munich. He's checking it. Well, Lewandowski stood with the ball. The corner was floated in, and I think Mariki had his hands around Goretzka, and Goretzka just falls to the floor. And they're showing me it 3 or 4 times. I'm thinking, what the bloody hell's happening here? But yeah, I think it's going to be a penalty. And it's a yellow card to a Serbi, who wasn't even involved in the play that went down. I mean, I must have missed something here. Tubbs, please help me out in the chat, because I know you'll be watching the game. Tell me what I've missed here, mate. But Lewandowski's got a penalty, Josh. And I think if this goes in, it will be a bye-bye Lazio. I mean, it's probably already bye-bye Lazio.
Yeah, Lazio had already got a tough job as it is to get back into this match. But at 5-1, as I said, you'd expect Bayern Munich to turn it on and maybe bag a few more by the end of the night. But, I mean, Lewandowski, probably on course here to get another UCL goal to his name. His record is ridiculous over the last 2 or 3 seasons. Maybe even more, to be fair.
And here he comes, and he stutters and he scores. Bottom left-hand corner. Brilliant penalty, Lewandowski. Never, ever doubted him. Ice cold from the spot, as always. 1-0 Bayern Munich, though.
When's he not ice cold? I mean, he's a great player, isn't he? I'll always feel like that's probably one of the things we'll talk about in the next few years, the fact that he was never given the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, deserves it. He's been probably the best player in the world for about 1.5 years now.
100%. And fair play, obviously, Bayern Munich taking a 1-0 lead there. But I asked this question to Kieran L yesterday. I asked him with Manchester City, who can be the team that stopped them? For Bayern Munich, who do you think is the one team that could be left in this competition, including Atletico Madrid, if they were to go through, that could stop Bayern Munich?
I'd love to see Bayern Munich versus Manchester City, because that would be one of the ties of the Champions League for the century, I think. It would be
Clash of the Titans, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be such a massive game. And I'd like to see who came out on top, of course, because Pep Guardiola is a fantastic manager. And this Bayern Munich team is by far one of the strongest teams we've seen in Europe for quite some time, in the Champions League especially. But I think for Manchester City, if they were to beat Bayern Munich, that would probably solidify them as probably the top team in Europe. It would be such a good game to watch. I really want that to be drawn in the next round, of course. Manchester City got through yesterday. It'd be amazing if that were drawn. But I think Atletico Madrid would give Bayern Munich a tough game as well.
Yeah, they've had games in the past against each other, which have always been tricky fixtures. I think Bayern Munich coming out on top in recent years as such. But I tell you what, I never actually thought of Bayern Munich City. I've been saying for the last 2 or 3 days on stream, when I was with Will a few days ago, we were saying we wouldn't mind seeing City against Liverpool because we love an English derby. But, I mean, a tie like that is a behemoth tie. And it's a shame because only one of us would be able to cover that fixture as well. But it'd be one of those matches, as you said. It'd be the one game I think everybody's eyes would be fixated on that night, regardless of what other games going on at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I think even PSG are giving them a good game, of course. PSG look absolutely unstoppable right now in terms of the Champions League. I know they lost in the league a few days ago, but in terms of Champions League, if they get their main men back, there'll be some force to stop. It wouldn't surprise me if we had Bayern Munich versus PSG in the final again, if they can avoid each other.
They played really well, I thought. When they played them in the final, PSG, there was only really the 1 or 2 few opportunities in the match, which eventually come and put the ball into the back of the net. And I thought PSG did really, really well to match up against Bayern Munich in that game. But, I mean, right now, PSG a little bit dodgy, as you said, in the league. Got a big win today against Lille in the French Cup. But I think they've got a good enough squad there. Maybe a bit better if they had Neymar, as you'd expect. World-class player on his day. But ultimately, right now, I think they could still put up a good job and a good fight, even without Neymar. Yeah,
I mean, Di Maria has been brilliant this season.
Yeah.
But you can't discount the effect that Neymar
Chelsea
had.
reign and Ziyech has scored. It's 1-0 Chelsea, but I think the flag... No, it's not going to go up. The flag's not up. It is 1-0 Chelsea. It looked for a second like Ziyech was just checking with the linesman, but it's a brilliant, brilliant counter-attacking goal. Who'd have thought that? Usually it'd be Atletico Madrid doing the counter-attacking, but I'm just going to see the goal back here a second. I think it started all the way at the back line. Yeah, it did. It was a chance for Atletico Madrid. Ball was lobbed in by Trippier. It comes out to Kai Havertz. Really good run from the German, who finds Timo Werner on the left wing. And, well, we know he's electric quick. Ziyech, I've got to say, it's poor marking from Stefan Savic in the end. He's ball watching. And Ziyech is left with acres of space, no one near him. And it's a simple finish for the Moroccan. And Atletico Madrid have got a mountain to climb now, 2-0 down on aggregate. First goal of the night goes to Chelsea.
Yeah, what an important goal that could be for Chelsea, and an important goal for Hakim Ziyech's confidence at Chelsea as well. And we said the three players that have to start hitting some form now for Chelsea towards the back end of the season linked up well for that goal.
Absolutely. And look, they've been very aware in this match, switched on, which was the important thing in this game. You know, Tuchel was saying in his press conference before, we don't want to sit there and look at the 1-0 result we got against Atletico Madrid. We have to focus on this game as if it's a 0-0. And they've done exactly that, and they've got the just rewards. And, we said Atletico Madrid were going to have to go out and attack. They're going to have to go out and attack even more now, which should make this quite a very interesting game indeed.
Yeah, it does sound like a mouth-watering second half you're about to get.
Hopefully. I'd be interested to see what Simeone does at half-time, whether he makes an early change or not. I don't think he will. I think he's quite a stubborn person when it comes to making substitutes and stuff. But Kyle Lee says he thinks the match is over. I don't see Atletico scoring 2. I think they have the players to score 2, but it's what Simeone does with the tactics.
I think if they were to get one back with probably 15, 20 minutes to go, then Chelsea'd have itty shots. It'd become a lot more open. And of course, this Chelsea team's not really that experienced. Maybe apart from Azpilicueta and Giroud, they're not really that experienced in dealing with stuff like that. So we might see him crumble. But Bayern Munich got a very dangerous free kick on the edge of the area. It's going to be a yellow card from Milinkovic-Savic. This could get far, far worse for Lazio.
Yeah, I think this could end, 3-4 potentially, which will not look good on the aggregate score.
They just need to be careful not to get any players sent off as well, because they don't want them to miss the first game of next season's Champions League either.
No, is it 3 yellow cards they've got now?
I think it's 3. Yeah.
Oh, so there's a chance here for Chelsea. Ball lobbed in towards Havertz and it's cleared away in the end. But yeah, as you said, don't want to get an early red card in this game. Yellow card even, or a red, because they might not even qualify for the Champions League. But Europa League-wise, they don't want to miss anyone out in the other games of next season, if they make it, of course.
Yeah, especially someone as key as Milinkovic-Savic as well, who received that yellow card there as well. Acerbi was the other one to get the yellow card. I think there's only been 2, if I'm right. But Bayern Munich, after the goal, have kind of settled into that stride, dominating the game. Lazio struggling to get on the ball. And I mean, like you said, this could be 3 or 4 very quickly.
Something similar is going on here. Chelsea coming forward again. Atletico Madrid at the back here, just in this last minute or two, looking really scrappy. There was a ball whipped in, I think, from Ziyech, the goal scorer, and the ball was just bobbling about. No one really able to clear it. It very actually nearly landed at the feet of Timo Werner, who had a chance potentially, but it was cleared away in the end. But Atletico Madrid on the rocks here, and there's going to be space for them to push into. But Chelsea probably looking more likely to go on and win this now, especially knowing that numbers are going to have to push forward and there'll be a lot of space for Ziyech, Werner and Havertz to run into.
Yeah, and I think that's the trouble when you come into a tie, even if it's 1-0 down. But when you come into a tie with a deficit, there's always going to be space for the other team because you're pushing for that goal to get level. It's going to be the same thing for Man United tomorrow. As we need a goal, we push to get the space and stuff. AC Milan, they're a very good side. And of course, Zlatan will be back as well. I'm not looking forward to that one.
I was literally just about to ask you, looking forward to seeing Zlatan back tomorrow, because you know what he's like on the biggest occasions.
The thing is, like last week, I'm pretty sure I said to you during one of the watch-alongs, the amount of opportunities that AC Milan had that fell to the wrong player. And if those sort of opportunities fall to Ibrahimovic, he will gobble them up, and we could have ended up being humiliated. But I think tomorrow we need to get the first goal. It's so important.
Big chance, massive chance. João Felix outside the box effort, which is a ball from Trippier that's lobbed into the box, trying to get it towards the path of Llorente. It comes out in the end from Rudiger's header to João Felix, and he takes the shot on from outside the box on the half volley. There's a slight deflection on the ball as it's taken on, but Mendy makes the save. But little moments of nerves for Chelsea here with 5 minutes left. Still 1-0 in this match. But going back to the Zlatan thing, as you said, he will make the most of the chances. And for him, it's been a massive week, hasn't it? Back fit again, called up to Sweden for the international qualifiers, I think, for the World Cup. So he's in a great position right now. And no doubt he'll be coming into that game with a lot of confidence. He's one of those players where regardless of if he's played at your club or not, he doesn't care. He's there to score goals. And he's there to be the man on the big occasion.
Yeah, like you said, the big occasions are the best for him. And I'm a little bit scared for tomorrow because it's probably AC Milan's biggest game of their season.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely. I'd have to say so because their season has been slowly dwindling as time has gone on. I think they're in real danger of getting knocked out of the top 4. As there's another chance here for Havertz. Tries to flick a ball into the box and Oblak spills it, but he gets the ball in the hand on the ball in the end as Timo Werner was trying to get a slight touch to put it in the back of the net. But there's some real nerves in this game.
Did they end up losing that game at the weekend to Napoli? Or
yeah, they did. 1-0 in the end.
They're coming off a loss in an important game in the league, so they'll be hungrier than ever.
They've got to be. I think for them, they've got a great squad on paper. I think when you take Zlatan out of it, it does look a little bit weak. Mandzukic, I think, is back soon as well, so that'll be another player that they'll have fit. Not for Thursday night, but if they do go through, then they'll have him fit for the further rounds, which, he's got plenty of experience at the highest level after scoring that unbelievable bicycle kick against, I think, was it against Real Madrid or Bayern? One of the two teams he scored against a few years ago, but it's a tough one to run. I mean, Kyle's put, if I'm honest, I don't see Man United winning. We were so poor in the first leg. Only have to wait and see. Also, pray.
I think the important thing is we're talking about the injuries that AC Milan have got and coming back. We've got Pogba, Van der Beek, and Cavani all coming back. They've all travelled. They're all fit to play, or at least play some part as well. And I mean, they're all very important because we've had so many injuries that, lately. We've played well at the weekend against West Ham in a 1-0 win. Those were the sorts of games that we weren't winning earlier in the season because we were conceding stupid goals in the last minute and stuff. But that gave me confidence because we were very good defensively. If we can have another show very good defensively and a little bit more prolific going forward, we should be fine.
I think, have you got any other players coming back from injuries? Because, you have to look at it again and say there were a lot of players who were missing, I think, for Man United on that night as well. Yeah,
just the players that I said, I think. And Martial's definitely out. But Pogba, Van der Beek and Cavani have all travelled. They'll probably be on the bench. So, I mean, Rashford's fit enough as to play as well, which is good. But I think there's going to be a sub for Lazio, by the way. I think Fares has gone down. And I think Lulic is getting ready to come on.
I was going to say then, surely not another change in terms of defensively wise, because we saw, of course, last week Musacchio coming off, but he's not going Lazio's way, is it, tonight?
No, I mean, we didn't really think when this game started it was going to go their way. They're playing the European champions. They're the European champions for a reason. It was going to be an absolutely colossal result if they were to come back and win this tonight, but that goal seems to have kind of sucked the energy out of them, and they need a goal before half-time at least, because there's no way they're going to score 4 in the second half. And if they do, fair play.
Now, it is the case now of damage limitation, as Chelsea are going to come forward here. Havertz, ball into Rudiger, who makes a bombing run forward on the right wing, and he takes a shot on from inside the box. And do you know what? He's put a lot of power into it. It wasn't a bad effort. It was a bit of an awkward angle in the end for the German, but he took the shot on, and why not? Made a good marauding run forward, but 2 minutes left here. As you were saying with Lazio, I think Atletico Madrid need a goal before half-time. If not, the first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half, and it will bring Chelsea some nerves. But right now, not good enough performance again from Atletico Madrid. And, so far, if you're looking at the last 2 legs of how they've played, I didn't get to watch much of the first leg. Of course, Will watched it, so he'll know a little bit more than I will, but they're not looking good in the Champions League.
No,
against Chelsea at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit uncommon. I think is probably the word to say about that. Because
I'm sorry to jump in, Kieran. Charlie White's just scored in the 86th minute.
I was literally about to tell you that, mate. I've just checked myself. Who's left on your goal scorers bet now?
Lewandowski's not. Just Suarez.
So, how much is that for? About, was it 40 quid?
£46.
Brilliant. I still need Picos to score for mine. I don't know why I've put them on my bet, but I need them to score.
We've always got bets on. If anybody else has got bets on tonight, you'll definitely have to tell us in the chat indeed. But we're all hoping to get a bit of money, not just at Cheltenham, but on the UCL tonight as well. As Tubbs has put in the chat, Tuchel giving Rudiger a lot of freedom lately. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because it looked like Rudiger was going to get booted out of the door with Lampard. But now with Tuchel, as you said, become a world-class defender all of a sudden.
I think the potential was always there with Rudiger, but I mean, he made a few mistakes and probably played a little bit like a donkey at times when Lampard was there. That's probably why he didn't get picked under Lampard a lot. And like you said, he was kind of looking like he was going out the door. But like I said, Tuchel makes players look that are bog standard look amazing. And I mean, Rudiger's not bog standard by any sense of the imagination. He's a very good player because he's so tall and strong and quick. Not many players like that around, especially centre halves. So he always had that potential. I think it's just about tapping into that potential and making him believe that he had that potential as well. Because I mean, the fact that he wasn't playing would have absolutely ruined his confidence.
100%. Referee's blowing the whistle here, half-time. Chelsea 1, Atletico Madrid 0. Simeone's face right now is quite a picture. You can quite clearly tell he's not happy on the inside, and I don't think he should be, because Atletico Madrid so far, they've had one or two little chances in this game to maybe get a goal in the match. But for me, for a team that is losing the game, they just haven't been attacking enough. And look, first 45 minutes, you don't want to go out there and push numbers forward because you risk the opposition coming at you with numbers and scoring a few goals. I understand that completely. But the system has to change in the second half. It's not been good enough. Suarez and Felix up top, they've had little glimpses, but too quiet in my opinion. And Simeone, for once, he's going to have to put on an attacking masterclass because Chelsea have made the most of the counter-attacking opportunities, and it was Ziyech who got the first and only goal of the night. And they need 2 goals, Atletico Madrid here.
I mean, speaking of attacking masterclasses, Josh, I think the second half for Lazio needs to be an attacking masterclass and a bit more, because they need 4 goals to even take it to extra time. That would only take to extra time the 4 goals, of course. We are at half-time, by the way. We've been at half-time for about a minute or so. I just forgot to tell you, because this game, I'm not going to lie, it's been a little bit crap.
Yeah, the problem is with those types of games when you're so far in the lead, it's hard to get momentum going. Do you know what I mean? If you're the team that's winning 4-1, you've not really got anything to play for, and if you're the team losing, you're not really going to get back into the match, are you? And especially now Bayern Munich have got another goal in the game, it is just a case of damage limitation for Lazio, which is a real shame. But you know what? At least we've both had goals at half-time. 1-0 in each match, both of the home sides leading 5-1 on aggregate to Bayern Munich and 2-0 on aggregate to Chelsea. Don't forget, the other scores are running across the bottom of your screen if you haven't seen the rest of the results over the last few weeks. Juventus 4, Porto 4. Porto going through an away goals, which, we were having a debate last night about Porto and how far they could go in this competition. Incredible result for them, which still a little bit jealous you got to cover that match in the end. Should have been mine, and I bottled it.
You did bottle it. What a match that was. One of the, like I said, I think I said to Ron, one of the most entertaining, not just ties, but one of the most entertaining games I've watched in football in a while.
And it's one I regret so massively not doing. Dortmund 5, Sevilla 4. Dortmund going through in that game after Sevilla scored 2 late goals to bring nerves to the German fans. PSG with a 5-2 rout over Bayern Munich in the Barcelona in their 2 games. Liverpool beating Leipzig 4-0. Real Madrid with a 4-1 win over Atalanta over the 2 legs. City, really good 4-0 win over Gladbach. Of course, Bayern Munich ran out 5-1 up on aggregate, and Chelsea 2-1 against 2-0. Sorry.
Oh, Josh, big news, mate. Picos have scored a 91st minute winner. Let's go. Let's go,
Picos. What are we up to now on cash out?
£6.12. So I need Reading to get a goal and Blackburn to get a goal, and that's for £66. That is.
Do you know what? It might happen. We might both have a good night tonight with the bets, and hopefully, if you're betting along as well, bet safely and. Fingers crossed you might be winning a bit of cash tonight as well. But don't forget, we've still got more content to come on the channel over the next few days. It's a really busy time, as always, on the Sports Corner when we've got Champions League and Europa League football. And talk about Europa League football, let's take that off the screen and show you that, because tomorrow, 5:55, you'll be able to join myself alongside Will, Kieran and Adam, where we'll be covering the 5:55 games. It does include Arsenal and Spurs in action. Should be interested to see if any of those games have surprise comebacks, like the 2 games between Milan United, Rangers, Slavia Prague. They're the only 2 games right now that look in the balance. You can join KD and Rowan, who'll be covering those live alongside me and Kel in the background. Our Friday morning A-League Watchalong, Western Sydney Wanderers are back in action against Perth Glory. That's from 8 a.m. with Rowan. And then on Saturday, it is a battle of the bottlers. Schalke taking on Gladbach 5:25. Kieran L, we're hoping Gladbach get their first win in what feels like 500 years. Should be a very good watch along indeed. And then don't forget, as always, you can take part in the UCL FIFA Sim tournament. If you haven't put your name down, this tournament is going to be taking place within the international break, so you've still got time to put your name down for it. It's a free-to-play FIFA tournament based on this season's Champions League. So we'll be taking the 32 teams from this year, and you will all get a random team from our live draw. So you could get yourself Real Madrid, but you could also get yourself Istanbul Basaksehir here. It's the luck of the draw at the end of the day. The good news, you don't need an Xbox or a PlayStation or even FIFA to take part, so you don't have to worry about that. But you as the manager, you'll be able to take control of the tactics, the teams that the players that you play and your formations, and the AI will play out the games for you. So everybody's got an even chance of winning. The small cash/gift card prize we've got for the winner, it's not going to be massive, but it is going to be there as a big thank you, of course, for all of you guys playing as a part of this tournament. Once again, if you do want to play it, we've got 9 spots left. We are slowly getting people joining over time. So do put your name down in the comment section below if you haven't already. We will note you down. And then, of course, once we've got all 32 players, we'll do the draw and we will then do the tournament, which will take place within the international break because we're not going to be covering the international break as such over the next few weeks. So it does leave a bit of a gap for us to do this tournament instead. So once again, put your name in the comment section below. I'll add you to the list. And we will do that at some point. Don't forget as well, if you haven't checked out our social media, our YouTube is the Sports Corner. You're on it right now. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We are pushing towards 2K subscribers, so your support is massively appreciated. Our Twitter is @_top corner, and our Instagram is _sportscorner_. Check those out if you want to see when we go live on YouTube, as well as when we post articles up on the sports-corner.com, which I will show you in a second. We do have articles available pretty much every single day on our website. It varies from football, we've got F1, we've got wrestling, we've got NFL, a whole host of content on there. And you can actually see the website, I believe, in about 2 seconds when it comes up on my screen. Should be now. Can you see it, Kieran?
Yeah, it's up, mate.
Perfect. There we go. This is our website right now. As you can see, we've got lots of stuff going up with NFL, lots of big deals going on there with the free agency frenzy situation going on. But if you're a big football fan, we've got a La Liga Team of the Season piece, which I wrote. So if you want to see who I thought as being some of the best players in La Liga, then do check that out. But we also cover some of the lower leagues as well, including League One, Sunderland in action tonight. Charlie Wyke has scored. And there is a piece from Adam on why he deserves to be a championship player, but a whole host of other pieces on the website as well. So really do please go and check it out. As I said, once again, it is the sports-corner.com if you haven't checked it out already. And we'll have more content up there over the next few days. But as for now, Carl's got a question for us in the chat. Could Chelsea win the Champions League this year, Kieran? What do you think?
That is a very tough question because Thomas Tuchel is a very good manager, and at the moment, Chelsea are not conceding a lot of goals. However, I don't think they're quite yet there yet. I think to win the Champions League, they need to score more goals. Like we said, if they can get that front three firing, if they can get Ziyech, Havertz and Werner all firing and getting all of them assists and stuff, then why not? But I think if they were to come up against a Bayern Munich in the next round or a PSG, or even like Manchester City, for example, they wouldn't get past them. I think Porto would give them a good game as well, to be fair. I think a lot of people are writing off Porto and saying they are probably the easiest side left in the competition. If you're a big team, you probably want Porto, but I think they showed that they're there for a reason. I think they could go toe-to-toe with any side, Porto.
Yeah, I agree with you. We talked about this yesterday, me and KL, and I said, at the end of the day, Porto scored 4 goals over the 2 legs. They played that second leg for a large majority with 10 men, and probably you could say arguably played better with 10 men.
Oh yeah, they played massively better with 10 men.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, yeah, you can look at the factors and say, well, this Juve side's in a rebuild, they're nowhere near as good as they are. But at the end of the day, you compare the 2 squads on paper, the amount of money that's been spent by both is completely different. And Porto are there for a reason. And I can't wait to see who they get in the next round because, as we said before, I personally don't think there'll be any team out there looking at them and thinking, we want them. I think there will be some, will be saying we want them. Teams like City, Bayern Munich, because I think they would beat them comprehensively. But other teams, let's say like Chelsea's, maybe even I think Real Madrid to a certain extent, probably one of those sides that are a little bit patchy at times, but they're there for a reason. They deserve to be in the quarterfinals, and I cannot wait to see who they get in the next round because they're not going to be a walkover. But in terms of Chelsea, who says that? It's one of those. Who says they can't win it? I think when you look at the 8 teams left in the competition, I think 6 or 7 of them will probably beat them on their day when you put the teams on paper. As you said before, Kieran, I think the lack of goals is a problem for Chelsea in the Champions League. When you look at the other sides left in the competition, free scoring Bayern side, a Man City side that, even though it's supposed to be less attacking over the last couple of years, is still free scoring. PSG, free scoring. Dortmund scored 5 in their game, even though they're supposed to be on patchy form as well.
That'd be a game I'd like to see.
Chelsea-Dortmund.
That would be a good game, I think. I think that'd be a good game I'd like to see. Defense versus attack, you could say in that sort of sense. I think Dortmund and Chelsea would be a very fairly matched tie as well, I think.
It'd be an interesting game. The whole factor of Tuchel's return, it'd be really, really awesome to see. But I've got to say, look, Chelsea have got a lot of work to do. There's going to be a few weeks in between that game that they play in the quarterfinals, if they get through, of course, and the other matches in the Premier League and stuff. So they are going to have time to improve as a team. But look, I think right now, Chelsea fans, they don't care. They're good enough so far in this competition to make it through to the quarterfinals. Who says they can't go on and win it? As I said before, the last time they sacked a manager and got somebody into the UCL, they won it. Tuchel's got Champions League final experience.
I'm excited though for the next round of the Champions League, the draw especially, because just think of the teams that are left in it. You've got PSG, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, Liverpool. I know they're not all the best. Of course, we're going to have one of Chelsea and Atletico Madrid in there as well. You've got Porto in there. Of course, not a mainstream team, but the potential matchups that we could have are absolutely massive. Like we could have PSG versus Bayern Munich, Man City versus Liverpool, Liverpool versus PSG, Liverpool versus Bayern Munich. The combinations are endless. No doubt we'll probably end up getting like Manchester City versus Porto, Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund, and Chelsea versus City or something like that. But do you know what I mean? It's exciting.
I'm all for that. I look at it and I think, do you know what? For me, this is the best quarterfinal lineup I think we've had in recent years because you always get, I think over the last couple of years, you always get 1 or 2 teams that get through that. Look, credit to them to get that far in a competition. But, take last year, for example, with the 2 semi-finals, Lyon being in there, and I think Leipzig were in the semi-finals as well. 2 teams that deserve to be there, putting brilliant performances, but realistically, when you put those 2 teams down on paper, they were always going to lose to Bayern Munich and PSG. This year, all 8 teams, maybe, yes, you could say Porto, look, aren't as good as the rest, but as I said, they scored 4 goals. All 8 teams, for me, are there for a reason. They deserve it, but they're bloody good sides. Porto, champions of Portuguese football. Juve, champions of Italian football. You've got the 2 best teams in Germany. You've got the top teams left in England. And for me, I would love to see derbies left, right and centre. I'd love to see 2 Premier League sides go up against each other. I'd love to see Dortmund, Bayern. If Atletico Madrid's made it through, let's have a Madrid derby. Why not?
It'd look a little bit suspect if there were derbies all across the quarterfinals. I think.
Yeah, it would. I'm not going to lie.
If you had City, Liverpool, let's say City, Liverpool, Dortmund, Bayern, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and then PSG, Chelsea, just for the Tuchel aspect, that would look a little bit suspect to me. Watch those exact draws now happen on Friday.
I mean, do you know what? If on Friday we do the draw and we come back and that's happened, then you're getting a round of applause for that. And to be honest, I'd be quite happy because we sat here and we predicted it.
Josh, I'll make it this time. I'll come to the draw this time.
Yes, that's what we love to see because look, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Every game is going to be a good game. There's no game for me, even whoever Porto get. You're not looking at it and you're thinking, oh, there's a clear and obvious winner there. Maybe if Bayern Munich were to get Porto, I'd be looking at that and saying, Bayern Munich should win, and if they don't, then look, they should be embarrassed. Although the last time those two sides faced off against each other, I don't know if anybody will remember it, but Quaresma ran fucking riot against them, and it took them till the second leg to actually turn up. So they haven't got Quaresma anymore. Maybe Corona could do it, but I'm all for Bayern Munich Porto.
Bayern Munich don't have Jerome Boateng anymore either because he's been withdrawn for Nicolas Sula in the second half, and Lulic did come on for Fares, I think, at the end of the first half, just to confirm that substitute. But we are back underway in this game.
And we've had a substitution in this game. Hermoso's coming on.
Oh.
And I don't know who it's for. I'll find out in a second. But he's come on for Renan Lodi. So I'm a bit confused with this one. I think Lodi didn't have the greatest of first half, so I can kind of understand why he's come off. But for me, Hermoso's a little bit more defensively minded than what Lodi would be. But do you know what? It might turn out to be a very good tactical substitution. But we're going to get back underway in about 5 seconds, I think.
Oh, and what a chance for the start of the second half for Bayern Munich. Lewandowski in the box, unmarked, after a nice little run by Leroy Sané. I mean, just kicks it straight at the goalkeeper. But, I mean, this game, I really want Lazio to score just to make it just the tiniest bit more interesting.
See, I feel like if Lazio score, we're going down the same route what Atalanta did last night. They'll just probably concede instantly because they've got themselves too over-hyper about the fact they've scored a goal against Bayern Munich. But, I mean, Kale put, isn't Lodi on a yellow? I'm not going to I have no fucking idea, mate. Let me have a check. He is, yeah, so there we go. That's why, yellow card. Didn't even know he got one, to be honest with you. But, yeah, it's... I wonder how long it's going to be before Simeone makes a sub. You know, if it's 10 or 15 minutes when nothing's really changed, is he going to sit there and just go, do you know what, I'm going to stick with this team and hope it runs out? But I need him to keep Suarez on the pitch because there's £50 on the line for this man.
Who else is on the bench for Atletico Madrid? I don't think he'll take Suarez off if they're looking for 2 goals.
So in terms of players they've got on the bench, attacking-wise, they've got Moussa Dembele, who played against Getafe, looked quite all right in that game. Thomas Lemar, who is probably one of the players I think who could come on. Correa as well, and Vitolo. So they've got quite a few attacking options on the bench tonight.
Yeah, I think probably like you said, Thomas Lemar, possibly Moussa Dembele, depending on how the game goes in the next 20 or 25 minutes or so. But definitely Thomas Lemar will probably see the pitch soon.
Definitely. Carl's put in the chat. If that does happen, derby's all over. I'll be thinking Josh bribed UEFA to get the fixtures he wants. That Cheltenham money I won today, I bribed him with it. Don't tell anyone. Keep that under wraps.
Oh,
another chance?
I mean, Lewandowski is just so good to watch. The way he just takes the ball down in the area and he's just his footwork there. The shot was blocked ultimately in the end, but he's just so fun to watch.
They're a great side, aren't they? I mean, the thing is with teams like Bayern Munich, they're just so captivating, regardless of whenever they play. Look, I think they've had a lot of defensive issues this season to a certain extent. A lot of games where they've conceded goals, maybe a little bit too much than they'd like to. But I mean, as you said before, Bayern Munich Man City would be chef's kiss, perfect.
Yeah, big time. Yellow card for Leon Goretzka, by the way, for a foul on Lazaro. Free kick Lazio, about 30, 35 yards out.
Hit it, why not?
Yeah, go on. Put it back in there.
Why not? We might as well. Chance for Werner to go through on goal, though. He's on the right wing inside the box. He's going to have to go in his own. Brilliant save from Oblak. Brilliant save from the Slovenian. He gets himself down low, gets the left arm to it, and gets just a little kind of punch away from the goal. You know, Oblak, probably for me, the best keeper in the world, up there with Manuel Neuer at the very least, and that is one of the reasons why he's up there. As once again, Atletico Madrid looking a little bit nervy at the back. Could have been a chance to make it 2-0 and kill the game off.
How have they gone from having a free kick from the 35-yard line to back at Pepe Reina's feet in the space of 5 seconds?
Oh, no. They so want to get out of that match with a 1-0 loss, don't they?
Yeah, massively. It's damage limitations for Lazio at the moment.
It is. You know, it's a shame because, look, you know, as we said, if they've come into this match, scored a goal within the first 10 or 15 minutes, then it does make it slightly more exciting. But yeah, you can see they were clearly going for this match just to come out of the game without a big defeat, because Immobile would have probably started if they were going to go for it. It's a shame. It is a shame. But ultimately, Atletico Madrid are going to come forward here. Big chance for them in the game. It's going to be Trippier on the right wing. Plays the ball into the path of Suarez, who takes the touch. And that's a poor touch. There's £50 on the line, my boy. What's he doing? Should be putting that into the back of the net at the very least. As Chelsea going to come on the counter-attack here. Havertz goes down, and there's going to be a free kick for Chelsea at the halfway line. But yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? I'd have liked to have seen Lazio go for it today, but look, 4-1 down. It's just a case of making sure it's damage limitation tonight. It would have been nice to see him play.
I'm not quite sure what's just happened there. You had a massive lag. Either I had a massive lag spike or you had a massive lag spike. She froze for like 20 seconds.
For me, it looked like you froze.
Yeah, it probably was me. I'm just going to plug the Ethernet cable into the back of my PC. I'll be like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's all good. As I think there's going to be a goal kick here for Atletico Madrid. Chelsea, I've got to give them credit here. This first 5 minutes, they're not happy on sitting back. They're going for it. And why not? At the end of the day, we said before there's going to be so much more open space in this game because Madrid are going to have to come out. And ultimately, as this game goes on, I'm starting to agree with Kyle that I don't think they're going to score two. But I feel like the more I say it, the more I hope Suarez just bags one at the end of the night. And, I go away with 50 quid and Madrid get knocked out of the tournament and everybody's a winner unless you're a Madrid fan. But they're going to come forward here. And I didn't actually realise that, Suarez hadn't scored for God knows how long in the Champions Leagues and I backed him to score. So I should probably slap myself silly for backing him in the end, as there's going to be a yellow card going to, I think, Saul for a foul on one of the Chelsea players, and I think it was a foul on Kai Havertz. Right decision in the end. Sticks a foot out on the German, and it's a free kick for Chelsea, and it looks to me more likely for Chelsea to go and score than it does Atletico Madrid right now.
We're having an absolute calamity here. Josh just actually turned the Xbox off as well.
Oh, not a good start to the second half.
No. I mean, I'm probably not missing much. Probably Lazio passed it around back. It's probably all I'm missing. But did I miss anything in the Chelsea game?
No. It's a case right now. I was saying before, for me, this first few minutes, it looks more likely for Chelsea to score another one in this game than Atletico Madrid to score in a second. I think Simeone is not going to be happy with this, and I would expect a substitution within the next 10 minutes, maybe for someone like Dembele to come on.
Oh, well, that'd be
in fact, literally just saying that, he's running down, and it looks like I think he might be getting ready. He was doing a really heavy warm-up, and I think Simeone has called him over.
Oh, well, if Luis Suarez is coming off, then that's your 50 quid down train.
I'll be fuming. It might only be 40 minutes of this game left, but I'll get a quick train down to Stamford Bridge and have a go at Simeone. But they're going to come forward here, Chelsea. Again, as I said, looking really good tonight. Fair play. They're going for it. For me, there's a lot of teams in this Champions League so far this season, from these legs specifically, that have kind of sat there and just been happy to take the victory from the first leg. Of course, Chelsea couldn't, but Dembele's getting ready to come on. Do not take off Suarez. As you said, Kieran, I don't think he will, but I'm worried. I've got a little bit of nerves here, but Atletico Madrid give the ball away. Chelsea could be forward. It's Kai Havertz on the right wing. Sprays the ball towards Ziyech, who's outside the box. Still going for it. Takes the shot on. Good deflection in the end from Koke as Chelsea get the ball back. Rudiger's going to hit one from long range, but it's just wide of the mark and would have been a much better effort had he been a little bit closer to the goal.
Yeah, but I'm still not on my game on this. I've got to connect to the Glide Wi-Fi, of course, as we know, but I'm having an absolute mare here, Josh. I'm not going to lie.
No, don't worry. I've just checked. Lazio making a substitution, so you're not missing anything right now.
I'm glad I missed this 2 or 3 minutes of the game.
Carrasco's come off, by the way, which is quite an interesting one, actually. I'd have thought you'd have probably kept someone like him on, but when you look at this team, it's very hard to pick and choose who comes off because Marcus Llorente is so versatile that he could play anywhere on the pitch. He's probably not playing a right mid tonight. He's probably playing as a centre-back or whatever. Simeone wants him to. He's just that versatile. But chance here for Werner to come through. He's brilliant. Really, really good movement from the German. But he's found himself, and literally as I just say that, commentator's curse, he gets forced all the way onto the right wing towards the corner flag, and Havertz gives the ball away, and Dembele might get his first touch of the match here, which he does.
Oh, no. Josh, AP16 is coming on, or AP7 as he is. I think there's an injury for Lazio, another one. In the middle of the pack, Parolo and Andres Pereira are ready to come on. I don't quite know who it was who was down injured, of course. I've only just turned the bloody thing back, and it looks like Milinkovic-Savic, which, no, I think it might be Lazari, actually. I'm not quite sure who it is.
We'll have to find out in a second.
Of course, Lazari and Milinkovic-Savic look on the floor. They've both got a beard and blonde hair. It's not Milinkovic-Savic, which is good for Lazio fans. I think it's Lazari who's down injured after a collision with Gnabry. But I think it might have to be another substitution for Napoli, for Lazio here. But Andreas Pereira's come on.
That's what you want to see.
We're on Andreas. He's come on for Vedat Mariki. Does that mean he's playing up front?
I mean, if he's playing up front, I'd assume not. But if he is, then, well, we're in for another incredible half an hour of action.
If he scores, I'm not having this.
No, if he scores.
I'm not having Andreas Pereira coming on in bloody Champions League like knockout rounds when Man United are sat in Europa League.
And he scores,
scoring against the European champions.
You feel like you're living in a parallel world with that happening, don't you? He'd be the only player as well, apart from, actually, I'm saying that's 5-1, isn't it? Who scored the other goal in the match? Was it Immobile?
I think it was Correa.
I mean, Immobile, no goals in the knockout stages. Andres Pereira won. Who's the better player? That's all you need to know.
I think Lazari is holding his nether regions. I don't know if he's taken one in the balls or all, but he's in some discomfort down there, Josh.
Going through the wars tonight.
Parolo's come on, I think. I don't know if it's for Lazari, but Parolo has come on. Yeah, for Lazari. So Lazari's hurt balls have caused him to come off for Marco Parolo. Very experienced. Does this mean wing back Andreas Pereira?
Hey, who knows?
No, back four. It's got to be a back four.
Just looking to see out the match now, aren't they? Just get out of the.
Oh my God, he's playing up front. Andreas Pereira's playing up front next to Correa.
You've got half an hour of this beautiful stuff.
He's bagging, Josh.
He is. In fact, you've got more than half an hour. You've got about 35 minutes, I'm guessing.
Well,
in your
with
match.
him up front, I've actually got about 60 minutes left because he's going to take it to extra time.
Might be a chance to see if Ziyech, though, takes on a long range effort, and that is a brilliant save from Oblak. And yeah, again, Oblak keeping Atletico Madrid in the game here. They just can't seem to get into the match right now. They're being outplayed by Chelsea, and it's a ball from Reece James, edge of the box towards Ziyech. He tries to curl one in with his left foot. It's a good effort, but not curled well enough. It's into the middle of the goal. Oblak's never really stretching too much, but he gets a hand to it. It's out of play for a corner, but as Oblak has done many times in the past, just keeping Atletico Madrid in the game a little. As apparently, very, very strange, and I don't know why, but Reece James took a corner from the left corner flag, but then the referees told him it was the wrong flag. I don't know how that's the wrong corner. I don't know how that works. So it's been moved to the right corner flag as Chelsea are going to make some changes in a minute, I think.
Isn't it just whereabouts the ball? Hang on. I'm going to stop because Pereira's on ball. Go on, Andreas. Oh, the skills are out.
AP watch.
Brilliant pass back to Parolo there. And Lazio are on the attack finally. Acerbi out to the left to, I think it's Radu. He's going to whip one in. No, it's going to be Lulic who whips it in. And it's blocked. Comes back to Lulic though. And he loses the ball.
Just doesn't feel like anything's kind of... doesn't feel like anything's going well, does it, for Lazio tonight? Is it a case of them getting in the final third and then just messing it up with a pass?
It was the first real time they've come forward with any real impetus, and they looked quite threatening. I mean, I don't want to say it as a meme, but ever since Andreas Pereira's come on and he's got on the ball, they look a little bit more faster. It's definitely not him, but...
We needed a bit more creativity in the team.
What is he doing? Oh my God! Honestly, he's just done a flick around two players, and I'm not quite sure. Oh look, there it is again. Another brilliant pass from Andreas. That's an awful pass by Radu though. Giving ball away to Bayern Munich, and they're on the counter attack. They slow it down, but yeah, like you said with Lazio, they just look so dead in front of goal.
I mean, I think they're kind of in a similar position as AC Milan. Not necessarily that they had a good start to the season as such. They've just been on a really bad dip of form recently. I'm looking at the league table. They're sat 7th in the league on 46 points. They were only 6 points from the top 4 points from 5th, which would get them a Europa League spot. But they're just in this kind of situation where they're just a little bit too patchy. They've not got enough goals. They've only scored 42, which this team's actually lower in the league that have scored more than them. And they've conceded 37 goals, which is actually a hell of a lot when you look at the teams in the top 4. the least amount of goals conceded, the likes of 19 goals from Milan. 31 goals even.
Yeah, compared to the last season when they were kind of up there for the title for a few months, especially in that middle part of the league. We seem to always talk about them as well when we did with the podcast last year. It's a strange one to see, like the disparity in last season and this season.
They were always a dark horse. They were one of those sides where you'd look at them and you'd be like, they're probably not going to win the league as such, but you never know. They were up there for large parts, and you're thinking as time continues on, they genuinely could go and win it. But I think they're a good side, but not good enough. As I think there's going to be a yellow card coming out here. Yeah, Jimenez has gone into the book for a crunching tackle. I think it was on Kai Havertz, who's gone down, and the referee's got no choice there but to bring the card out. It's a tackle that maybe 15, 20 years ago you'd have got away with it, but not now.
Well, I won't be winning any money tonight, Josh, because Birmingham have just scored a second against Reading.
Ruining everyone's bets, no doubt.
Yeah, it's 2-1 though.
Poor.
Buddy Lee bore you.
Oh, it's okay. No, it's not. I don't know what's going on here, but Luis Suarez is sat in the stands, and I think he's been subbed off. Either that, or he's just sorting out his boots for a second, because I swear he hasn't been subbed off in this game. I've got to make sure now. Have I just missed it? He has.
Oh dear.
He subbed him off. Who did he bring on? He brought on Correa and Correa. Yeah, just Correa. Oh, well, that ruined my night. That's a shame.
Both our bets down the drain in about a second.
Yeah. I didn't even notice he took him off. I'm not going to lie. I would have sat there for like 10 or 15 minutes probably thinking Suarez was on, but he's took him off and he's gone Correa up top. So a little bit more pace in this game, but I don't care. They can get knocked out of the tournament now. Ruining everyone's bets tonight. And again, Suarez's ridiculous record of not scoring in the UCL, I think now for 2 or 3 years continues. There might be a chance here for Dembele, who finds himself in a good position. Ball cleared away. And this is a very different attack now. Lots of pace for Atletico Madrid up top. Dembele a little bit quicker than Suarez. Correa, very quick player, very enigmatic, skillful man. It'll be interesting to see how those two do as the substitutes coming on in this game. But Kyle Petty was subbed off. I didn't even see. I think I was too busy looking at something else for a second. Shame. Disappointed. But Werner's coming here in now. He's 1-on-1. Going to take on the shot. Just wide of the mark. Hits the side netting out of play for the goal kick.
Sounds like that game's getting a little bit more tense for Atletico Madrid in there. They're getting a little bit panicky.
Yeah, it is now a case of a little bit of a sense of desperation in this match for them to go and get something. Time's going on. I think I've got to say now with Kyle, maybe a little bit earlier on in the match, I was thinking, do you know what? They could maybe get 1 or 2 goals, but right now, we're only 2 or 3 minutes into these substitutes being on the pitch. They might bag, but as I said, I'm still sticking with the fact I think it's more likely for Chelsea to get a second than it is for Atletico just to get 1. It's not good.
I think there's going to be some subs for Bayern Munich. Goretzka's coming off, of course, on the yellow card. They won't want to get him sent off. I think Alphonso Davies is coming on. Yeah, Alphonso Davies coming on.
Not exactly what you want to see, is it? When you've still got half an hour left of the match.
Not particularly for Lazio.
And you've got the Canadian roadrunner coming on the pitch. He's the last person you want to defend against. As Trippier whips a ball into the box from the corner, poor cross in the end from the English fullback. And Atletico Madrid are going to have to try and come forward again. It's going to be a long half an hour for Chelsea, this. But to be fair, with how it's been panned out, it's been fairly easy for them to sit there and not really do much. I was saying that Correa's coming forward here. Ball comes out to Trippier. Puts the ball into the box. Rudiger just smashes it away. I'd be surprised if that's still in the stadium. And he goes out to play for a throw for Atletico Madrid. Much better from the away side.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of away sides, this away side here tonight's been very, very poor. It's been a very boring watch, I'm not going to lie. I mean, the first leg, because it was 4-1, absolutely killed the tie-off. But I thought maybe Lazio would come out with a little bit more impetus. My scoreline could still happen, by the way. I did say 2-1 Lazio. It still could happen. But, I mean, the way it's
wishful
going...
thinking.
Yeah, the way it's going, it could end 1-0. Just both teams just leave the ball in the middle of the park and go home.
Yeah, just get the game over and done with. It's a case of sitting there now for the next half an hour and just waiting for it to finish, just like it was for us, for myself and Kale yesterday. But do you know what? Tomorrow you've got a good game against Milan, Man United. We've got Europa League. So we've got 2 games in the evening, 8 o'clock specifically, that are still well and truly in the balance. That's United against Milan in Italy, as well as Rangers against Slavia Prague. Should be 2 very good games. But we've also got a little bit more action, 5:55. Arsenal and Spurs are going to be in action in the Europa League. We'll be covering all 4 games that are the early fixtures. So should be some fairly interesting games. And I'm hoping tomorrow we'll get maybe one of the games from the earlier sections that comes to life. But realistically, all 4 of those matches well and truly in the hands of one of the teams rather than being close.
Yeah. Are you guys joining us for the 8 o'clock, you and KL?
Will be indeed.
Pictures of those games, of course.
Get to watch Villarreal 2-0 up against Kiev.
And Kieran gets to watch, was it Ajax?
Ajax, yeah, against Young Boys. 3-1 up, I think. Yeah,
and like we said, those games are probably over out there.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, we in the last kind of Europa League section of the tournament with round of 32, because you just got so many games. There was at least 1 or 2 of them that were, well and truly in the balance. But right now, with the scores currently...
Oh, he's at the post. Lewandowski's at the post. No. Just outside the area, drove it low. Typical trademark Lewandowski shot. Just clips the post. Pepe Reina lost it for a second. It hit his back. And he's scrambling along the floor to get the ball and just about gets it. But another chance for Bayern Munich and another chance for Lewandowski to kind of stat pad in this game now.
I was going to say as well, it's mad, isn't it? Pepe Reina still playing Champions League football after all this time. Yeah. With the career that he's had, one season he was playing for Villa, the next he's playing Champions League against Bayern. Crazy.
Yeah. Almost getting relegated with Villa to go into bloody Champions League football. Like I said with Andreas Pereira, barely getting a sniff at the end of last season to going to play Champions League football. That's it. I mean, fair play to him, but I don't. When he comes back next year, I hope Ole Gunnar Solskjaer don't think, I can use it, because he is poor.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what happens, because obviously you've got Lingard out on loan as well. You'd assume West Ham will go in for him and try and pick him up, which means AP would have more of a chance of getting in the team. And when I mean more, I'm talking it'd be very unlikely. El Margo being ahead of him.
El Margo's injured at the moment, Josh.
Is he? Oh, how long's he out for?
He's been out for about a month now. He's still injured. Poor El Margo.
He's sorted himself out.
I mean, he's good when he plays, and I mean, he'll be there next year for sure, Matter. I think. Actually, no. I think Galatasaray were going to go in for him off Fenerbahce. He was one of the Turkish teams were talking to him, I think. He might be there next year. I'm not sure.
Nah, I mean, if Galatasaray go in for him, I wouldn't mind seeing Falcao and Mata linking up together. That's the dream team for me. There's 2 players that I really like in football.
And Yedlin as well.
And Yedlin, yeah, let's not forget. I'm thinking of any of the players who were there that have... I'm trying to think. There isn't really, is there, off the top of my head? But they're like the most recognisable, like, old Premier League players. But Lamar's coming on in this game. So another change here for Atletico Madrid, a player who, once again, they spent a lot of money on, hasn't really shown up as much as people have expected him to. But this season specifically, he's really upped his game in an Atletico Madrid shirt. And Simeone is putting his trust in him here, because that's the 4th substitute of the game. Time's running out, 20 minutes left. They need a goal bloody soon.
Yeah, and it's important that they get a goal soon, because, I mean, like you said, 20 minutes left. Big moment for Atletico Madrid, of course. They got knocked out by Leipzig last year, and many people questioned Simeone and questions Atletico Madrid. 2 more subs, by the way, for Bayern Munich, Josh, and don't spaffy pants. Choupo-Moting's coming on.
Oh, as if the night couldn't get any better. Chupo has to come on. Fair play to him. That's what we love to see. See if he can bag a goal.
Musiala is also coming on.
Which is nice to see as well. Musiala did really well. Did he play in the last match?
Yeah, he scored.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Goal. Yeah, he scored the second goal with that lovely finish after that lovely run. I mean, he looks incredible. He looks like a real one for the future.
Yeah, 100%. He's another one.
Be a yellow card for Correa for diving. Fair play, referee.
Good to see the referee bringing cards out for that, because we've said in the past too many times that cards haven't come out for diving. We've had a sub here, by the way. Kieran Trippier's come off, Lamar's come on. So they're going for it now.
Trippier's have to do some betting.
He probably will be. He'll be betting that Atletico Madrid can make a 2-1 victory before 90 minutes, no doubt.
But the two substitutes, Josh, Lewandowski for Choupo-Moting, of course, passing that torch to the far better striker in Choupo-Moting. I think it's going to be Sané who comes off for Musiala. I'm not quite sure. Just 2 seconds.
It's all good.
Oh, it's Muller. No, Muller's come off for Musiala.
So resting a few players up as you'd expect. There's no point keeping some of the better players on the pitch now when they're 5-1 up.
Yeah,
they're going to come back into the game.
Yeah, give Musiala and Choupo-Moting a run out, of course. Musiala important to Bayern Munich. And Choupo-Moting, of course, if Lewandowski gets injured, can step in. Not necessarily fill those boots, but I mean, you'd probably say he could fill the boots.
I'm always going to say he could fill the boots. I've got to. And I know they were saying recently with the whole international shit going on with the qualifiers, if Lewandowski does go with the international team and plays against England, which is at home at Wembley, then Lewandowski would have to quarantine for 2 weeks, which means Eric Maxim Goting would be up top on his own.
They wouldn't play him. They wouldn't play him though, would you? They'd play Muller up front, which is unfortunate for Choupo-Moting. They'd put Muller up front and flank him with Sané and Abbey. But however, Joaquin is in 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Oh, he took it wide. He shoots. Good save, Nubel. Took it. I think he's offside as well. I absolutely hate this offside rule where they put the flag up so late because, if that had gone in, I'd have been getting excited and think, oh, it's 1-1. They're only 3 goals off. But no, he's not even offside. He's not even offside. What an awful rule. What's great? Anyway, it's an awful shot because he just kicked it straight at Nubel.
Do you know what the worst thing would be here for them is if Bayern Munich were to go at the other end and score, because decisions like that, I hate this rule. It's so annoying. The problem is with the rule is we saw with Rui Patricio, look, a situation like that can't be stopped as such because it was just a very quick, instant collision.
Oh, Choupo-Moting's through. Josh Choupo-Moting, it's 2-0. Choupo-Moting scored. He's been on the pitch for a minute.
Yes. Come on. Oh, my God.
I honestly...
Could you write it?
You literally just said...
Jesus Christ.
Oh, imagine if they went up the other end and scored. Who was it who passed it to him?
Yes. Come on, Choupo.
For some reason, David Alaba's in the cam position. Lovely Freddie through ball to Choupo-Moting. Dinks it over the keeper. 2-0 Bayern Munich. What a finish from Choupo-Moting.
Oh, my man. And that is why when Lewandowski fucks off to the World Cup qualifiers, Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting is starting up top. Come on, lad. Oh, honestly.
I know. Do you know what, though? He finished that really well. To say he's only been on the pitch for a minute. Second goal in 5 matches as well. And
it literally goes back to the point I was just going to make about the fact that he was onside in that situation. And had Correa put that ball into the back of the net and that not being given as a goal, you'd have been absolutely... I know there's not much on the line here, but you'd have been fuming that didn't count.
Yeah.
But who cares? Choupo-Moting.
And I mean, with the little I've had to cheer about tonight, I can at least cheer that.
Oh, honestly, man. You couldn't fucking write it, could you? Good to see. You know what? At the end of the day, Bayern Munich, it's a great win for them, innit? 2-0 again. 6-1 on aggregate, it's going to be. I think they probably always looked to that fixture and were kind of thinking, yeah, we'll win that quite comfortably.
Well, they're in again. It's a poor pass from Kimmich, but Napoli's going to pick it up. And right now, it's a very professional... What a pass to Alphonso Davies. Corner kick Bayern Munich. Another chance for Choupo to get his head on it, Josh. But like I said, the little I've had to cheer about, at least I got to cheer the Choupo-Moting goal for you.
Moment of nerves here. Jesus Christ. Chelsea, once again, have really stopped Atletico Madrid getting a rhythm in this game. They don't know what to do. They're lost. Hermoso tried to clear the ball, whacked it against Kai Havertz, who just couldn't get the ball under his feet. It was quite an awkward ball to get a good touch on. And in the end, I think Oblak just had to come and try and get the ball away from the Germans' feet. But it's been poor from Atletico Madrid again tonight. Chelsea have played what would probably be the perfect game plan against Atletico Madrid. They've stopped them in every manner, defensively, attackingly. The midfield can't get anything going. It is pitch perfect performance tonight from Tuchel.
Yeah, I mean, and just to put this game into perspective, Lazio would need 5 in 15 minutes if they wanted to go through tonight.
Never say never.
Never say never. There's another sub, though. Cataldi's coming on.
I think for once we can say never.
For Luis Alberto. Cataldi on for Luis Alberto.
Yeah, I think we can say never for once. I don't think it's going to happen. I'd be very surprised if...
You'd only be surprised, Josh. Is that the only emotion you'd have if Lazio scored 5 goals in 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'd only be surprised. I mean, I'm not watching the games, so I can't really celebrate it as much as you would be able to. But do you know what? The odds are probably 1 billion to 1 for that to happen. I'm all for it, but I'd only be surprised. It's only Bayern Munich at the end of the day.
I know, only the European champions.
Oh, God. I mean, we've got 15 minutes left here. It's Chelsea pretty much just waiting for this game to be done and dusted as Christian Pulisic is going to come onto the pitch for the last 15 minutes. And again, another one of the players Chelsea have signed, big money spent on him last season, played really well under the likes of Sarri. Didn't play as much under Fat Frank, but getting a bit more of a chance under Tuchel now, and it's good to see.
I mean, you say getting a little bit more chance at the Tuchel. He's been coming off the bench quite a bit to say that Tuchel and him are like best mates. Going to be another sub for Bayern though. Javi Martinez coming on. I think Kimmich is coming off, of course. Bayern Munich now resting up for the weekend, like you said, a big game coming up for the weekend. Who is it they're playing? Are they playing? They're playing one of the top 4. I'm pretty sure.
Is it Bayern? You were saying?
Yeah, who's it Bayern playing?
Stuttgart.
Right, I've got that horribly wrong.
I know what you mean. Leipzig's the week after.
No, we've got some good games this week in the Bundesliga. I'm thinking of someone else. Let me just check and save myself. Hang on.
You save yourself in that situation. Right. As I think Atletico have got a corner here.
Oh no, it must not have been next week. When was it? We were talking the other day. We said, we need to do another Bundesliga weekend. When is it? Is it not this match day? Next match day?
I have no idea. Every week seems to be a Bundesliga weekender right now.
It is because there's Dortmund and Frankfurt. It's the 3rd and 4th of April. The 3rd of April is Dortmund, Frankfurt, and then Leipzig. Bayern Munich. Thank you very much. I was having a mare there.
No, you're all good. Ziyech is coming off here. Pulisic is coming on. Go back to your point, by the way. I do feel like he was still given more of a chance off the bench, Pulisic, than Frank. I feel like Frank could have just sent him back to Dortmund to somewhat on loan, and he probably got more game time than he did under Frank. But
it's weird because the back end of last season, he was doing really well, Pulisic. He looked like a real class player that Chelsea had signed, but weird.
It's a shame.
Josh, don't read it out. Do not read. Don't get caught out by it, okay? Don't do it.
I was going to see if I could slowly read it, but either way, if you slowly read it or quickly read it, it comes out the same way, and we're not falling for it tonight. No, we're not having it.
You fell for it yesterday, not tonight.
I fell for it yesterday, not tonight. I'm sober enough to know that says masturbator, and we're not having it. No, honestly, not again. I don't like making a fool of myself.
Quick question: is Chapu going to bag again in the last 10 minutes?
Oh yeah, he's bagging a hat trick before the end of this game. We know what he's like. Clinical finisher, as he always has been in his career. His time in Stoke at PSG.
1 shot, 1 goal.
Exactly. Lewandowski had to score from the penalty spot, didn't he? Unlike some.
I straight grassed him up, didn't I? And like I said, I grassed you up.
Yeah,
I didn't want you to get caught out again like you did yesterday.
Do you know what? Yeah, you know what? Kieran did grass you up on that one, D1. But I wasn't sober enough yesterday to be able to sit there and say what was it? What was it again? I can't even remember it. It was.
I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was, but I just kept saying it. I was like, I don't know what it means. And then of course, of course it means that. But no, I couldn't fall for it this time. Not having it, as we've got 12 minutes left of this game, and Chelsea still 1-0 up. Pulisic is on the pitch, and Atletico Madrid are just just passing the ball around, really. It's not really much you can say about this team right now. It seems lack of ideas, void of options. And I mean, look, a goal within the next minute or two would make this fairly exciting and give us like 10 minutes left. But I mean, he's put, also, you look like Marcus Alonso. Do I?
Ooh, I think that's a compliment.
Do you know what? I'd take that as a compliment. I mean, I've got to get a picture up now. What picture shall I get of Marcus Alonso?
I'd say that's a compliment, Josh. I'm not gonna lie.
Let me get that picture up. I'm definitely taking that as a compliment. Can I get that on like a new window? No, I don't want it on that one there. Open photo in new tab. There we go. Can you see it?
Not really.
I mean, I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah, I'd take it. I can't really see it, but we take it. We'll take it, Josh. Well, you'll take it, Josh.
I mean,
big chance. No. Big chance. Free kick, Lazio. 20 yards out. Get AP on it. Let him have a shot.
Ooh, big chance in this game for Atletico Madrid for João Felix. Slight deflection from his shot, I think from Azpilicueta. Very nearly sent it into the bottom right-hand corner of Mendy's goal, but it goes out of play for a corner. As D once put, Diego Costa is coming on. He's not there anymore. He's gone. He's left. I don't know where he is these days.
Pereira's over the free kick.
Oh, big moment.
Going in.
We got a corner as well for Atletico Madrid. So if that free kick can go in, this corner's going in as well.
Well, he's lofted it back stick and it is in. He's headed in by Marco Parolo.
Corner's lofted in. And it's out.
Or is it?
Is it going to count?
Yeah, it's 2-1. Yeah, it's counted. It's 2-1. 4 more needed for Lazio. By the way, what a delivery by Andreas Pereira that is. It floats all the way through and Parolo nods it past Nubel. No clean sheet for Bayern Munich. Lazio do have a consolation goal on the night. I mean, they're not going to get another 4.
Oh, there's a red card.
Oh,
red card off. Savage is off. You fucking idiot. I don't know what he's done there, but he's absolutely stupid. Referee, no decision. Red card. It's spot on. Goes and does that in front of Zuma's face. Just gets his... literally just elbows him in the face. And Savage fuming. He's saying it isn't. I mean, obviously, I want to see another replay just to make sure that it's the right decision from the referee. But from what I saw in that corner, the referee's got no choice. And do you know what? The angle that they've shown us here is not helpful either, because this is a much better angle to see it. So, yeah, the referee, look, at the end of the day, it's the chest area, but he did it twice. Elbowed him twice in the chest. First one the referee didn't see. I think he saw the second one. And look, at the end of the day, referee saw it. He's given, obviously, the look and said, obviously, you've elbowed him. Red card, you're off. And all Simeone can do is shake his head on the touchline. It's the right decision in the end. And he'll be coming off the pisses. Rudiger's now having a fight with Hermoso. I think they're both saying a few words to each other. It's one of those where you can kind of tell that they're smiling, but they're having a bit of an argument.
I'm not sure what's happened to Lazio, but in the last 2 minutes, they've looked absolutely brilliant. They've got another chance here from a corner. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen at all, but if they score from the corner, I'm getting giddy, because they still need another 3, but I'm getting giddy if it goes in from the corner. Akpro's just come on for Escalante. But I mean, even to get back in the game, the corner's whipped in by Pereira. Headed on, and just off the crossbar and over. Jesus Christ. It was a Cherby this time. But I mean, even if that would have gone in, it is still game over. But the fact that they'd have come back from 2-0 down would have given them that momentum going into the next game.
They just want to take the 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, I think it just clipped the crossbar as it went over the bar. I'm not actually sure it did, but I mean, Bayern Munich defensively, they've been a little bit shaky tonight. Not been at their best. And Lazio, I mean, in the last 5 or so minutes, have been really good.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Fair play. It took them 170 minutes to turn up.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame there. Werner's off, Hudson-Odoi's on, but yeah, referee, it's the right decision. It's good the referee's seen it. It was twice in the chest, and look, it might only be the chest area, but it doesn't matter. If he's done it twice, he deserves to be sent off. As Hudson-Odoi takes on shot first time with his first shot of the match. It's a P-roller into the hands of Oblak. And this now is a game which is done and dusted.
Yeah, fair play, Chelsea knocking out one of the favourites. Ball into the box. Correa's just missed it. Should be 2-2. Akpro's going to keep it in, though. What's he going to do? He's going around Leroy Sané. Still going at Akpro. Dinks it to the back stick. It's an awful cross. It's by Milinkovic-Savic, and there's a ball by Parolo. It's blocked. Still not cleared, though. Marusic. Milinkovic-Savic's going to have to go backwards. But Lazio, I don't know why they've waited till... I don't know why they've waited till the 85th minute, but it's balling by Lulic. Headed on into the air. Headed back by Lulic, and they've still got the ball, but I mean, they're not doing much with it.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. You know, they're a good side, Lazio, but when you're coming up against Bayern Munich, it's always going to be tough to come up against the best team in world football. As Kyle's put, fair play, ref. Yeah, it's a red, but Rudiger made the most of it. I'm not saying Savic shouldn't be sent off, but what Rudiger did annoyed me a lot. And yeah, I mean, D1 put Jovic, I think he means Savic, clearly elbowed him, but it's just one of them where, look, Rudiger made a little bit of a meal of it, which I think is the point that Hermoso might have been making to him as they were walking back, and there were a few words being exchanged between them. But it's the right decision. Two elbows, referee notices it. It's a red card as... I think one of the Atletico Madrid players, I don't know who it is, I'm not going to lie, is absolutely screaming from the stands at some of the players to just try and motivate them. I don't know who it is. If somebody knows in the chat, you'll have to tell me. It might actually be... It looked like a really skinny Thiago Silva. and surely it's not Thiago Silva, if my eyes weren't deceiving me. But once again, 5 minutes left. As you said earlier, Kim, and I agree with you. They've played pitch perfect in this game to go and get something. As I know you've been a fraud in the chat, D1, and telling me Savage is that Eintracht Frankfurt striker. I know my European knowledge. No, it was definitely Jovic. Jovic, he came onto the pitch, he elbowed, and the referee went, "You're not a Madrid player. Red card. Get off." As we've got 4 minutes left of this game.
Yeah, I've got 3 minutes left, I think, in my game plus added time. Chupu had a chance as well, Josh. He was running for on goal, but he got tackled. Honestly, if he'd have scored, there would have been limbs, wouldn't there?
Oh, 100%. There'd have been absolute limbs tonight. The best. Do you know what the thing is? He's had the best performance in the Champions League tonight. There's been no other better player on the pitch in either of these two games, in my opinion.
No other striker that's even matched his qualities on the pitch tonight.
In fact, he might even get a man of the match card on FIFA. Get in. That's what we want to see. When it comes around to Friday and they bring out those cards at 6 o'clock, he's having one. I'll tell you.
No, I still think Lewandowski will get it.
No.
I don't know.
Lewandowski's had too many cards now. It's post time.
They might give it to Alaba, because I think he's got an assist.
No, he's not.
The thing is, Chupu's not been on pitch for long enough.
No, true. I mean, he's got a goal to his name, which is nice. But
if he was to get a second, then yeah.
Yeah, he just needs. He's got a few more minutes. How long's left? 4 minutes.
2 plus added time, so probably about 4, like you said.
Well, he needs to get his arse moving and get.
Just give a free kick away. Just give a free kick away.
He don't want it. 1 goal's good enough for him on the night.
I think Lewandowski and Muller are actually laughing at him. Then I'm not even joking. Like, he committed the foul and it cut to them two on bench, absolutely pissing themselves.
D one's put thoughts on Timo Werner today. Not as good as Pookie Werner. Not as good as Pookie Werner. No, he's been all right today, Werner. Decent little performance. I mean, of course, Timo scoring today.
Please shoot
against Forest. Which is
what a pass! Oh, what a miss!
And yes, we do play foot as well, D1. Who had a chance there, Kieran?
It was Bayern Munich. Brilliant run by Leroy Sané. The first time he's really had a run at the Lazio defence tonight. Cuts inside, plays an absolutely wonderful pass to Serge Gnabry. And he just gets his shot all wrong. I don't know if Pepe Reina saved it or not. But Sané kind of fakes to shoot and plays a lovely pass along the floor into the box. And Gnabry, I think it's just gone wide, just doesn't catch it well at all. And it just goes out of play. Right, I'm not sure if it's a goal kick or a corner, but he got his shot all wrong. He should be scoring that. It is going to be a corner, by the way. Chupu's heading this in. It is whipped into the box towards Nicolas Sula. It's not a good corner at all. It's picked up by the Lazio players and it's cleared away.
It's
Oh,
it's
but
a
they've
shame.
got a 3-on-2, Josh, of Lazio. Wrong side. He's gone to the wrong. He's gone to the wrong side. Pereira tries a crossfield ball. What a pass that is to Iturbe. Back to Linkovic-Savic. It's cleared away.
It's a shame. Dylan, how you doing, buddy? He's asked where did you get the cardigan from the chat. Top man, if you live in the UK. As Atletico Madrid have a chance to get a goal, Dembele's missed kicked, but it is going to be a corner, I think. But yeah, this cardigan's from Top Man. Shirt is from, I think it was from River Island. As D1's asked, weekend league players. I don't get to play it much because of doing streams and stuff, but KD's your best man to ask for weekend league players.
I think KL's probably the best to ask. I think he's the best out of the lot of us who play weekend league.
Did you get any red cards this week?
Yeah, I got gold for even.
Who did you get from it?
Some dead ones, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say something not of note.
I mean, tomorrow I'll open them and I'll probably get bloody Depravile or something.
Oh, yeah, it'll be one of the shitters. Chelsea coming forward again here, ball up into the box. Eventually, it's a good tackle from Jimenez. D1's asked, what ranks do you get in the weekend league? I don't play it. I'm not as I said.
I normally just stop at gold 3.
Probably the best place to finish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gold 3, silver 1, that kind of area. But yeah, I don't really tend to play a weekend league. I'm not going to lie. Not my jam as we go into 5 minutes of extra time in this game. Chelsea still 1-0 up, 2-0 on aggregate, and going through to the next round.
Fair play to Chelsea.
Deserved it. I don't think, in my opinion, there's been any given minute in this match where ultimately Atletico Madrid have been the better side. I think they've dominated every minute of this match. There was never a point where I thought, Atletico Madrid could maybe get 1 or 2 goals in this game, and they deserve to go out of this tournament tonight. It's been pretty poor on this match indeed. As Dylan's put, do you mean Top Shot? Yeah, it's Top Shot, but I think they've got a little section called Top Man. I might be horribly wrong, and I'm just making it up, and I've given him a new business idea. But Top Shot, does it come with a shirt? He doesn't know. The shirt was from River Island. As Dylan's put, I like seeing my comments come up on my 50-inch TV. Good production value. Thank you very much, Dylan. 50-inch TV. I wish I had that. I've got like a 5-inch bloody TV. I need binoculars for mine. It
isn't 5 inches. It's probably about 20 or 24 or something.
Still, it's quite a small TV. But D1's put, I always get gold too. My bestie's 19. Can you imagine a 5-inch TV?
It's like a phone, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd just be like a little phone.
It's like a phone
with a stand. Phone with a stand.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? We're at that stage now of the night where it's just got to a point where, because there's just fuck all going on, we've only got 3 minutes left, which is quite good. But it's a shame because I think, there's a chance here for Atletico Madrid saying that. Felix is in, and it's a good save from Mendy. And he says, no, you're not scoring tonight, Atletico Madrid, as he looks on course to keep another clean sheet.
Yeah, he's been very good this year, Eduard Mendy, of course. Had that little bit of a rough patch towards the start, but I mean, he's been very solid for Chelsea all season round. But we had 4 minutes of time. I've not told you because I honestly didn't realise we've got 58 seconds of that 4 minutes left, Josh. And like you said, it's got to that part of the night where it's like, end these games, because I'm not being funny, but both these games tonight seem like they've been very, very boring.
Yeah, it was a shame. Look, this is probably the one fixture left, including the Real Madrid Atlanta game, where you looked at it and you thought, it has potential to be one of those special ties where we could see a comeback or something. But look, Atletico Madrid just not in this match tonight. And it might do them some favours. Let's not forget, they're in a La Liga title race, only 3-4 points ahead of Real Madrid and Barcelona. So maybe being knocked out of this tournament will do them some good to focus on the league itself. As for Chelsea, the league title's pretty much done. Top 4 is the main case for Chelsea, but who knows? With the way they played tonight, they deserve to go through. And I think, as we were saying, yes, they need to score more goals, but they've been a brilliant team and really enjoyable to watch tonight, to say they've only scored 1.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say the same, but this game's over. It's finished 2-1. Very professional performance from Bayern Munich. Lazio, not at the races at all, but I mean, expected after the first leg's humiliation in Italy.
And there's a chance here to make it 2-0 for Chelsea, and they have. It's Emerson with his first touch of the game. He's literally just come on the pitch, and I think Yep, it was Mason Mount who was in the stand celebrating, and they've just like panned the camera over to the boys in the crowd, the Chelsea players who were out injured, as Chelsea get a second goal in the match, and the Italian who's literally been on the pitch for about 5 seconds gets the second goal of the night, and Mount and Thiago Silva. So I was correct, Mount and Thiago Silva together, both jumping and cuddling each other in the crowd. Probably bringing the most amount of noise tonight at Stamford Bridge. It's 2-0, 3-0 aggregate. Atletico Madrid are going out, and they have had an absolute stinker.
Yeah, it sounds like it. This game's over, by the way, 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what tonight? Look, 2-1 result. Lazio can take some positives away from it.
Yeah, but I just feel like they could have at least gone out there and showed a little bit more intent tonight.
I'm just seeing the reaction now. They've shown it again. It was Thiago Silva, Jorginho, and Mount. It was Thiago Silva just stood on the stairs screaming at all the players, and I think he was going absolutely mental. And then Mount and Jorginho have come running over to him, as apparently Dylan thinks he's hacked our website. I mean, if you have, then fair play. I'll give you credit to you if you've hacked it in the end. But I can't see anything on there that would require hacking sense, to be honest. It's probably fairly easy to hack it. But referee blows his whistle. Full time here at Chelsea through to the next round of the Champions League. Atletico Madrid defeated in pretty convincing fashion. Look, at the end of the day, 3-0 on aggregate probably isn't the most amazing of Champions League fixtures in the world for the neutral. But in the end, as I was saying before, Chelsea, for the entirety of the 180 minutes of this match, never really were tested by Atletico Madrid, and the current La Liga leaders who are on for a potential title race in Spain are going to be knocked out of the Champions League and going home. And Simeone's side once again knocked out in the early stages. And Tuchel steamrolls on for what could be an interesting quarter-final draw on Friday.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh, as Dylan's put link in the description is just a bit dodgy.
It's probably the website.
That's my fault, I think. I think from one of the subscriptions, I think in the description, it's been dodgy for the last few weeks. I've been trying to sort it, but it never seems to want to load.
I also think it's probably the website. It's been very slow today. Just give us a little bit of time to sort that out.
It's been very slow and very fucking annoying for us, but you know. It's a shame, but hopefully we can get it sorted as soon as Carl's put. I honestly didn't see Chelsea winning the tie 3-0 on aggregate. Atletico were so crap in both games. Well done, Chelsea, and I agree with you. Yeah. Really, really poor in both games. Never really turned up. And in terms of the quarter-final draw, the 8 teams left in the competition, Kieran. We got Porto went through and away goals against Juventus. We got Dortmund, PSG, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern, and Chelsea. After seeing all the teams that have kind of played in these last few days, who's your favourite to win it?
It's hard to back against Bayern Munich, isn't it? Like, as much as people don't want them to win it again, it's very hard to back against them just because of just how good they are and how good they are going forward. But I mean, Man City, they look very good as well. Liverpool, of course, I know they're having a little bit of shit time in the league, but they were really good in both the legs against Leipzig. It's got to be Bayern Munich for me, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, you can obviously look at it on the other hand and say Manchester City as well. They've not necessarily been as tested as such in the Champions League so far with some of the bigger sides, but to come out of that game, good 4-0 win on the two legs even on aggregate against Gladbach. The next game is going to be the biggest test no matter who they get, but I think with how they've been form-wise, they're going to be quite interesting to see how they get on, especially if they maybe come up against someone like Bayern Munich or PSG. Dylan's just put, it worked fine when I just typed in the domain by itself, got your dev to look into the HTTPS forwarding. Oh, interesting. Thank you very much for that, Dylan. I will see if we can maybe get that sorted out, because I said WordPress is shit, and I think anybody could probably hack it if they wanted to, but we'll probably see if we can get that sorted out. So thank you very much, Dylan.
I don't know why you'd want to hack a website. What are you going to do? Change the headlines and stuff?
There's not much on there to hack right now, is there?
There's no information or all.
Nah, there's nothing special there. As he's put, hopefully we won't get any derbies in the draw on Friday. Hey, who knows? Should be some interesting games.
At least one. Like a City Liverpool 4. I think you're pushing it with 4.
4, why not? I've told you, I paid them the Cheltenham winnings today to rig it. No, we'll have to see. I mean, the quarter and semi-final draws They're on Friday at 11, so we're going to get both of those drawn. So we will see the provisional path for who can make the final on Friday, which we will be covering on the channel. But don't forget, as always, we've still got more content to come on the channel in the next few days. In fact, we're live again tomorrow night. 4 big games coming up in the Europa League, including Arsenal against Olympiacos and Spurs against Zagreb. I'll be live with Kale, Adam, and Will from 5:45 with kickoff 10 minutes later. And then straight after that, you can join KD and Roman for the 2 main games, Milan United and Rangers Slavia Prague. But myself and Kale will be there to cover the other 2 matches. Friday morning A-League watch-along sees Rowan watching Western Sydney Wanderers up against Perth Glory. We'll be interested to see how they do. Western Sydney Wanderers after that incredible match a few days ago. And then, of course, Saturday, it's the Battle of the Bottlers. Schalke against Gladbach, 5:25 on Saturday night. You do not want to miss out on that. KL will be delighted if Gladbach get their first victory in what feels like forever. And don't forget, as always, if you want to take part in our UCL FIFA Sim tournament, it is going to be taking place when the international break starts in about a week's time. If you don't know about it, it's a free-to-play Champions League FIFA Sim tournament. You don't need an Xbox or a PlayStation or even FIFA to participate, as it will be the AI that controls your team. But you get to choose the tactics, you get to choose the players that play in the team, and of course, every player will have an equal chance of winning it, as the AI will take control of everyone's teams. If you do want to play, there is a cash/gift card prize for the winner. It's a small one, but as a massive thank you for you guys playing, we thought we'd put something in there. We need 9 more players for this competition, so if you do want to play, put your name down in the comments below. We'll add you to the list, and we will be doing that tournament, as I said, in about a week's and a half time, where the international break does take place, which isn't too far away indeed. Don't forget as well, you can check out our social media links. Our Twitter is @_top corner, and our Instagram is _sportscorner_. If you haven't checked them out already, well worth doing so. We always post out on those pages when we go live on YouTube, as well as when we post up articles on our website, which is the sports-corner.com, which, as we said, we've had a few issues with it recently with the speed of it. It's an absolute fucking nightmare to load it up. It takes forever and a day right now. But if you can get on there, then you can join us for some quality content. Lots of stuff available on there. If you're a big NFL fan, there's all the latest updates with NFL Free Agency Frenzy. And then we've also got a whole host of other pieces on the website. League One pieces. We've got La Liga Team of the Season so far, as well as a few pieces based on breaking news stories across football. So if you haven't checked it out already, please do. It's well worth checking it out indeed. As Dylan's put, that sounds fun. I'll be down. DM me details if there is any. There's not really many details, Dylan. We're going to stream it live on YouTube. So if you want to play, I'll put your name down for it, buddy, and we'll get you part of the tournament. I forgot the word then for a second, but we'll get you down for it, and we'll hopefully do a draw soon for who plays who. But you're in there as well, Kieran. Hopefully, better run this time compared to the Euros.
Man United.
Can't say I can rig it, but you're either going to get Man United or you'll get someone like Istanbul Basaksehir here. That's the look of the draw for everyone. And as I said, we will do that not too long away before we start the competition in the international break. But as for now, massive thank you, KD. Really appreciate it as always, buddy.
Thank you very much, Josh.
Thank you very much indeed. Another night of not necessarily the most enthralling Champions League action for the neutral. But we have a final 8 teams left in the Champions League. That's Porto, Dortmund, PSG, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, and Chelsea. Who's going to come out on top? We'll have to find out. We're back tomorrow from 5:45, so don't miss out on that. But as for now, we'll see you in, about less than 24 hours? We'll see you then.